and Smythe host the Team Podcast. We love sports just like you.
Welcome to episode 43 of the Team Podcast. Nash is still away, so I am Wells hosting. Beside me is this mediocre DJ, Smythe.
It's still not a DJ.
Yeah. And jumping in to help us out this week, a familiar voice, not only on here, but on another podcast. Difeo is back.
The other podcast.
Yeah.
The other podcast.
We were talking before we started how we were going to basically just use this show as a promotion for the return of Horseplay, which is next week. Side note, Horseplay is returning next week. And we were going to...
We're hijacking the Team Podcast.
Yeah. NWO style.
Nash, I can't wait for you to listen to this episode. It is revamped. It is all new material.
All new material.
We've scrapped your recommendations for this week in our pre-meeting.
In our pre-show meeting.
Yeah.
Which lasted a whole 3 minutes.
So can we call this episode, what episode would be on Horseplay, technically?
47.
So is it 46.5
No.
of the Horseplay podcast?
No, this is just a straight hijack of the Team Podcast.
We've done this before, guys.
We did, well, it was like a,
We have done this
dual
before.
episode.
We did like a combo.
Yeah.
But we didn't just hijack.
We didn't just take the show.
Yeah, we didn't take the show and turn it into an episode of Horseplay. But this is basically going to be like a prequel.
I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, so I don't want to piss off Nash while he's on his honeymoon. So we'll stick to the rules for now. There might be some hiccups along the way. A few stuttering jitters you hear, the NWO theme song kick in.
A little bit, a few times.
No, we'll see. But
Some Daniel Bryan yeses.
yeah. Does anyone have any like interesting stories or thoughts before we get on to the usual stuff, the malarkey?
The malarkey. I have a recommend, whatever.
No, we're not doing that yet.
I know, but I'm just going to throw in one.
Okay, go ahead.
Or we're not going to throw one in. Should I talk
if
about me
this
first?
is about your story, is it combined with the story?
Yeah, it's combined with the story.
Go for it.
All right.
Anyway, so...
You know what? This is the takeover, the hijack.
Yeah.
We can kind of
Just go wherever we
shuffle
want.
things up we
It's
want.
like
All
a
right.
hybrid. It's like a hybrid.
This is like a
part
test
of the
show.
a test pilot of the new show.
Go on, give me your recommend story.
Anyway,
Warren.
so my story is that I'm an Amazon junkie. I don't know if you guys know, but if I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see something on Amazon I just buy it, and I'll buy whatever. So I was playing around a couple days ago, and I wound up buying one of those. You know those things where like it like has the ab cruncher and has two things going in your arm, and it does electromagnetic pulses.
The Dr. Ho.
Yeah, basically it's kind of like that. Bought one. It charges USB. You put a cable, you charge it up, and you put on these little gel pads, and you strap them to your arm with straps. You push, and it just like these flexes your muscles for 25-minute at a time intervals. Been using it.
Is this why you're wearing a tank top today?
Yeah. I'm just like, this is what I know. Anyway, I'm using it, and you know what? I'm gonna recommend it to people that like they work at home, they're sitting at home, and they're not in the gym
It
at
has
the time.
The ab one too.
Yeah,
right?
so it's like there's like
the
it's a six pack.
Did you get that with it?
Yeah, so it's a 6-pack plus the 2 arms. You can also do it on your thighs, but it just gives you like electromagnetic pulses, which are like flexing. It runs for 25 minutes. You go as hard as you want on it. I'm not going to say it feels like you did a workout after, but it gives you a little like boost. If you're not going to go to the gym that day, strap down for 25 minutes, and you feel like you're up. And after that, you're uppity. You have energy. You can do stuff. I kind of enjoy it.
Have you had the nuts to put it on your nuts yet? Like,
No, I would never.
Come on, man.
The pain already, like you feel it. Like the abs, I don't feel it because there's a lot of in between the abs.
You can
and
like do your own like little fail army sort of clip.
And just do it and end myself immediately. No, but
Wuss.
no, I'm never gonna put on my nuts.
Post it on the Team Podcast Instagram.
Just in action on the highest level,
And
just
Twitter.
on the ground. It would be hilarious.
Tag World Star.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you get that trending.
Yeah. Watch the
10
followers
million views.
fly. So that's your recommend, right?
My recommend is that if you want something that's going to just stimulate you and give you that quick boost, it's $80. go grab it, you fling it on, and you can sit in my home office. I sit in my home office and put it on, and it's great. I like it. It's fun.
Okay, I got one recommend and one warn. Recommend first. I'm surprised you didn't have this one, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably the best game I've ever played.
Do you have it to fail?
No.
Oh, no, I'm surprised. But you weren't really into like GTA either, right? Like,
No, that all comes at the same time as COD, and you know where my allegiances lie.
yeah. It's insane. I mean,
It is insane.
I think most people listening already have it or know about it. It's really is like the most insane game, and I feel like I've been playing pretty much for the last week, and I feel like I've been just scratching the surface of so much more to happen.
Doesn't it take like something like 98 hours to complete?
If you're going to finish the whole thing.
Depends on what you want to do, I guess. I'm sure if you just went for the story mode, you could probably finish it in like a week. But you know, there's so many different things going on. I saw like a ghost lady or something. Like you just stumble upon these random things, man, and you play with your headset on. It's freaky.
The game is beautiful.
It's man, it looks so good.
Yeah,
I wish I had a
have it.
4K TV.
Yeah, it is fantastic. There's just too much to do though. Like I'm like
That's
walking
not a
around.
bad
It's
thing.
like, hey, eat something. I'm like, what? No, why?
that
Like, I
hard,
understand.
man.
I know, I get it, but like, come on, eating. If you eat too much, it gets fat. You can shave your beard. Like, come on. I always lose my hat. I'll never pick up a hat.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, why is that important in this game? Just give me a hat and let me just live my life as a cowboy.
Yeah.
I've been randomly killed on the side of the street consistently, just riding my horse. Someone just starts shooting at me. I'm like, what did I do? If someone says hi, you don't say hi back, you might get shot in the face.
If you
which,
bump
like,
into them on your horse and they get offended, they might shoot at you. I have a calling card. So like every time I kill someone I like have a discrepancy with or something, I kill them and I walk up to their body and I shoot their head off. It's gratifying.
shoot their heads off.
Oh, dude, you can shoot. You can take each limb off as much as you want. Like you can cut it off. You can shoot off like a shotgun or a couple times with your revolver. You can then pick up the carcass and carry it around. It's insane. It's stupid, but it's. Anyways, my calling card. You shoot everyone's heads off.
All right, I'm gonna have a calling card now. Next week I'm gonna tell you what mine is.
I might take some pictures of my calling card.
How far are you through the game?
It says 30%.
That's not good. I'm at 15. I'm gonna play it probably tomorrow all day. I mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna work hard all day.
Yeah, with Dr. Ho. My warn is I don't know if it's a warn or just like a blast on people.
It's probably warm.
It's like Movember started today, and I seen dudes with like full dusters already. That's like cheating, right?
Not supposed to go. No.
Yeah, no. You have to be clean shaven on the first.
Yeah, exactly. I saw guys with like mustaches already, like pelts.
Guys just starting early cheating.
Yeah, that's phony, man. If you are donating money to people like that, I don't know, man. Better check and see where you're donating.
See where your money's going.
Yeah.
That guy already has a mustache. I'm not like I like Movember. Like I'm not gonna shave my beard though. Come on.
Yeah, I kind of stopped. I did it for a bit, and then I was like,
I
whatever.
did it for a couple of years.
It's a nice concept.
I
Don't get me wrong.
I just can't commit.
I gotta go
to
to
it.
a wedding on Saturday. Like I'm not gonna show up with like a
speck.
scare some kids away and stuff, right? Like that's not. Yeah, I used to do it all the time, like when I was in my 20s, and it was, still looked pretty bad, but
Yeah,
It's
I
like
didn't
a
have any.
phase. It's like Halloween for kids. You just kind of get to that age where you're kind
Yeah.
of over it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you want to donate money, then you donate money.
You're the
to a
donate guy
20-year-old
now.
kid.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the guy at the door putting coins in the UNICEF box.
Yeah, you're that guy.
For 20-year-olds with dusters.
Speaking of
Dusters on the first.
Speaking of Halloween, did you have any visitors here yesterday?
Oh my god, we had like 60 kids come out. We decorated our house.
Yeah, I saw that when I came in. I got scared.
That was a lot of work. Really, but for like an hour and a half, we just like sat outside with a candy and a bowl. We're playing Halloween music. I got one of those little speakers that stand up. We're just playing some Halloween songs and just handing out candy. It was pretty fun. Not a lot of kids out here though. Toronto doesn't do it the same as the burbs.
No,
because the burbs, you go trick or treating until 11 at night. Hit like Mississauga Road, hit the big streets out there. Like here, I think they just walk up and down the street and they go with their parents. Every kid was with their parents, which I thought was insane.
Yeah.
by the time I was 10 when I was a kid. I was like, all right, Mom,
we were,
see you in
yeah,
the
we were
morning.
doing it like I think even before that. Like I was just running around with like a whole group of kids on like
Your parents know you're all right when you're dropping off that first pillow sack.
yeah. So you're back. No, just
Yep, just reloading.
Yeah.
See you later.
Just dropping off. Start inspecting that. So when I get back with the second one, I can start to dig in on this first one.
Check for razors.
Well, you're a mob of 10 to 12 kids. Like, you're probably going to be safe. You know, I saw there's a mob of like 6, 7 kids. Parents are just hanging out with them. I was like, this is crazy.
Sometimes though.
Now, what if it's like everyone kind of, you know, they're all kind of getting along and all the parents know each other and the parents are having a few cocktails along the way.
That's a different Halloween.
I think
Did not see that yesterday. That's because that's kind of parent I'd be if I was.
Yeah.
I'd like to be the guy who hands out candy to kids and then
beers
has
to the
trays of shots.
Yeah, no, I've heard of this. My
know?
sister, because we were talking about this, I saw my sister on the weekend and I was asking like what they're going to do for Halloween, and she was saying how like she'll go with a couple other parents and their kids, and they kind of just do their own thing. They have a couple cocktails. They have like a thermal of wine or something, and then some parents had like shots for like certain parents. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good person.
It's the way it should be.
I am doing
They
that
probably,
next year.
those kind of people probably give out the best candy.
Yeah, right?
What did you give out?
I just gave out little like 3 or 4 like little candies. So like little Rockets, little Snickers, little Reese's, just little M&Ms.
Yeah, nothing
Yeah,
special.
but more than one.
The traditional stuff.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
No. There's
As long as you
nothing-
weren't handing out like Tootsie Rolls
Yeah,
or
the toffee and
candy corn.
my wife though was
Granola
like,
bars.
my wife was like, "Here's your candy, little kid." Give them one, or handing the kid the bowl, and they take like one. I'm like, "What are you doing? We don't need this candy. Just grab a handful and chuck them in
Yeah,
the
the old handful.
There you go.
Difeo, you have any recommend warns?
No, it's been a slow week. Slow week out in the burbs. Took me forever to get to work this morning because of
Traffic?
No, because of a drunk driver last night. If you saw on CP24 or any of your local news outlets,
It's like Mavis, right?
Mavis and Burnthorpe.
18-year-old kid I heard drove.
Yeah.
Killed a
Mother
a
and
toddler,
baby.
and
Yeah.
the father is in critical condition.
It's terrible.
Way to bring the mood down here on this podcast.
Right. Thanks, guys.
I'm just saying that's what's all that's happened in my week is it took me forever to get to work this morning because everything was closed off, and you think what's an 18-year-old kid doing out boozing at 2:00 in the morning on a
Halloween.
Wednesday? Like, come on.
What's a mother and a father and a toddler doing at 2 a.m. on a
I was
Wednesday?
thinking that too.
You don't. For all we know, they were on their way back from the hospital, on their way to a hospital.
Yeah.
You don't know, right? Like, who knows? But
Don't drive drunk.
Here we
that's
go.
my recommend.
Yeah.
Don't drive
It's like, don't do it. Like, it's never worth it. Never. How much is an Uber today? There's a guy that'll come and get you wherever you are and take you home. And then if you want, they'll bring you back to your car in the morning to go pick it up. You don't have to drive drunk.
I thought you had a warrant too. We were going over.
He's not gonna air it.
Okay,
He doesn't want that kind of trouble. Is what he's
Okay,
saying.
fair enough.
We already said we don't want to upset Nash.
I thought it'd be a good conversation. Nice little round table
little round
conversation
table
with that. Let's hop into it then with a recap of Week 8 in NFL, which I thought was a pretty boring week. Now we're kind of in that middle part of the season where teams are starting to realize they're done.
It's not their year.
There's bye week, so a lot of teams are done. Like a lot of
Trade
teams.
deadline was Tuesday.
Yeah, trade deadline was Tuesday, but like this is actually a pretty active trade deadline for NFL.
A couple guys moved.
Yeah. But a couple of things I took away from Week 8. The Rams are still undefeated. I mean, it wasn't pretty. They were 9-point favorites at home, and they barely covered. And they did it at the end, thanks to Ty Montgomery, who eventually got shipped after that fumble.
They did cover, though.
They did.
Barely
No, they didn't
covered
cover.
is
They
not-
didn't cover.
They didn't cover because
9.5.
Gurley took the knee.
Yeah, they almost.
Oh,
yeah, they would have hit the
right.
over and the cover. and
Yes.
They didn't do it. I also saw the Jags are. I think they're done, man. Like I think
Oh, they're not. They're done.
they're phonies.
They're done.
Like I really thought they would make that push from the AFC Championship last year and maybe go for the Super Bowl this year because the East is kind of wide open. But they're terrible.
To be honest, they're 2 games out. But
It's true they are in the AFC South, so anything
Yeah.
can happen in the next 8 games.
it does prove how hard it is to stay on top in this league. So it's kudos to the teams that year after year they're there because it's not easy. Because the Jags were when this season started, we said they're arguably the best team in the league before the season started.
No, they're up there. Yeah,
And we were saying that nothing's going to stop these guys this year, and look at them now. They're already at 5 losses.
They're terrible this year. Also,
They got into
a lot of trouble
in London, eh?
Okay, yeah. So
Who ended
what?
up getting arrested?
I can't remember. No.
It's 4 defensive backs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they skipped out on a $64,000 bill at a burlesque show or something.
I think burlesque was the
The term
public
they
radio
use.
term that they use, or television term that they use for adult
Strip.
entertainment.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a strip club. But how do you run up a
Rippers.
64? I guess
Peelers.
it's easy to run up a 64,000 top at a strip club.
I don't know, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, you got a game the next day. Like,
No, but it was a couple days before.
oh, I thought it was the night before.
No.
They're in trouble, I want to say, on like the Saturday morning. Like, they went on Friday night.
But
Yeah.
the news came out on the Sunday morning.
Yeah, because that's when
Well,
it's important.
Okay, all right.
You're 5 hours behind.
Yeah. That's why I thought it happened the night before. My bad. I didn't really invest.
And
too
the
much
reason
into
why
it.
none of them were just released on the spot is because they were all defensive backs. So if they could have went into that game
Yeah.
with literally no depth. But actually, since they've came back, I don't think any of them were really punished.
No, and they're on a bye
No.
week this week too. So maybe next week when they start practicing, we'll start hearing some fallout from that. The Bills, still their offense is the worst thing in sports right now.
You know what? I don't understand. If I knew it was coming, how does no one else know what's coming? That's what I don't get about the Bills. Like, before the season started, I said they don't know what they're doing. Season starts, they don't know what they're doing.
They still know what they're doing, and now they have to go back to Nate Peterman as the quarterback because they brought in
Who did they just bring in?
Derek Anderson in.
bagging groceries 3 weeks ago, right to the NFL, and right to a starting gig. They weren't like, "Listen, we need you to come and back up for us because we're short QBs." They're like, "No, we
need
hate
you to
Peterman
play
so much."
No, he's so bad. Forget they like him. He's just really a bad quarterback.
They're like, "You know what? You look like you may have helped some old ladies carry groceries to the car, so you look like you're in shape. You're starting."
Who's the Rams QB that won the Super Bowl bagging groceries the year before?
Oh, that was
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. Hey, it happens, man. You got at this
Derek
point.
Anderson wasn't good as an NFL starting quarterback.
This is also true. He never got it done.
No. And then also capping off some news this week, Hugh Jackson got fired from Cleveland
Shocking.
about a year and a half too late, maybe.
Yeah.
Got 3 total wins in 3 years. Oh, 2.5 years. 37 losses. 3-37.
And a tie.
And a tie. Yes, a couple overtime games this year. He and Todd Haley were let go. Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, is now the interim coach. Greg Williams is also like the guy behind that Bounty Gate a few years ago with New Orleans. Somehow he's weaseled his way back into
the prominence.
Yeah, I don't know why they went with him, but
Because that's how you motivate your players. You need some of that.
Bounty
encouragement.
is-
Bounty
But
Gate. Bounty Gate.
he
was great.
also had a crack at a head coaching gig before, didn't he? And it didn't work out.
I thought he was the coordinator for St. Louis after all the dust settled with that Bounty Gate stuff, and they were talking of maybe making him the head coach of the Rams, but they gave it to McVay, I think.
Which, right decision.
Yeah, that turned out all right.
Now, like, this is the best Browns team in the 3 years this guy's been here, and now they let him go.
I think that's why is because we're like, look, we finally gave you some bodies. We gave you some decent players. It looked promising at the start. Like
The execution wasn't.
they could have been
there.
like everyone says they could have been 5-0. Could have been, but
Greg Williams was previously the head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
when though?
1980.
No, 2000 something.
Oh, 2001, 2003.
It was before pre-Bounty Gate.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
you're
had a
right,
chance pre-Bounty Gate.
yeah. This guy's bounced around everywhere, though.
Yeah, he's
That's how jobs. Yeah.
The Saints, then he was the Rams and the Titans, then back to the Rams, now the Browns.
Crazy.
So any other stories this week caught you guys' eyes? Anything you found interesting? I mean, like I said, it was a pretty uneventful week.
You know what? Golden Tate to the Eagles. Like, the Eagles look like
Okay,
they're just desperate for receivers because they picked up Jordan Matthews a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now
He's been okay.
He's been playing great for the Eagles, to tell the truth. Like, I can't believe the Patriots actually cut him. I feel like the Pats would have needed him. But now you turn around, and now the Eagles get Golden Tate. And the Eagles did the same thing last year. They went and got a bunch of bodies to try to get it done. I was very surprised that Van Bell didn't move.
I'm not.
I was very surprised he didn't move to Philadelphia.
I told you guys this before. There's no point in moving him because that's one more team like with another weapon that you would face down the road. Whether they trade it in the conference or they trade it to NFC and you end up going to the Super Bowl and he's that deciding piece, like, and you play against him, like he's just it made no sense. Like they got a good back right now. James Conner, he's playing out of his mind. And like if you can incorporate Bell into it somehow,
then it'd be great.
It's better than trading him off for what, like a 3rd-round pick or something.
If you're the Eagles, 3rd, it's Le'Veon Bell. He's a 2nd at least.
Maybe,
if
yeah.
You're the
if Amari Cooper,
well, yeah,
gets a
fair enough.
first.
Fair enough.
Now, here's the best. Amari Cooper goes for a 1st. Golden Tate goes for what, a
3rd because Golden Tate, you got to pay a lot of money if you're going to keep him. He's a rental.
And then Demaryius Thomas goes for a 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somehow Amari Cooper's a 1st.
I mean,
no, they robbed someone. They got a great deal.
They robbed Dallas, yeah, because Dallas they have no one, like no receivers, like I'm still like they could have grabbed Dez again, but I guess they're done with that.
Yeah, they're one game out of the play. Like they're one game out of the division, right? The playoffs are an option for them. There's no wild cards coming out of the East for sure.
No,
and Washington, they're not consistent at all. Like they're going to lose. It's not one of those things where. I think Dallas was like, we're going to make the playoffs with this change. I don't believe they'll make the playoffs.
The other trades were, we said Montgomery went to the Ravens.
Yeah, Ty on the Ravens.
So now you got 3 running backs there. That's a lot of mouths to feed.
Ty can play wide receiver, though.
Yeah, he can, but like...
Which I think he will do in Baltimore.
You can play, sure. Like, whatever. They're going to, like, screw around with people with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, they're
taking
trick play
snaps,
central.
And then you got Montgomery. What's he doing? Where's he going?
It's a dog and pony show.
Yeah, exactly. Trick play central.
Harbaugh's trying everything. The defensive... the Rams got, what's the name from the Eagles?
From the Jags.
The Jags. My bad.
Dante Fowler.
Yeah, that was pretty significant.
Are they blowing it up, the Jags?
That's one of their best.
Dante Fowler is a former 1st-round.
Oh, he's just they have to pay him this year, and they don't have the money. That's really what it comes down to. That's why everyone gets
like it's kind of like a sign of like maybe they're throwing in the towel. I don't know.
Because that's why Taycon moved. That's why Khalil Mack moved.
But right? to add Fowler to the Rams D line.
Yeah, that pass.
Even
rush.
Melvin Gordon tweeted about that. He was like, "How many more guys this line need?"
Yeah. There's another receiver that went to. I didn't write it down, but I'm missing one more person.
It's funny. You're the person that usually remembers these things. Well, we're just going to skip that over because...
Sure. Let's go over our picks from last week. We'll do a rundown, and then we'll get into our picks from this week. Last week, Nash went 3-2. Smythe, you went 4-1.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm back, son.
And I went 2-3. So you and Nash are now tied for first, 24-16, and I have now slid down the ladder to 23-17.
Where you belong.
It's true. It's bad. The girls went 1-4 each, so not a good turnout from them.
Well, sometimes you can't.
Episode I was on, I believe I went 4-1.
You did.
Yeah.
And
we mentioned it too.
You know what we should do?
The Barry Horowitz.
We should message for picks from like consistent guests every week, just so they have a running tally, so it's more than just the 3 of us consistently going.
Sure, you can do that.
Yeah, for next year. Next season when we start up, we're gonna because the
friends of the show. We should do that, like a friends of the show pool.
Yeah, and everyone should be picking because it makes sense.
Can we make it interesting?
We would like to.
Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, you just.
Or are we just gonna
straight cash, baby?
What?
Straight cash.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm totally down. Friends of the show.
Little $20 pod each.
$20 a week.
You know, keep it gentlemanly.
No, just $20
or not gentlemanly. We have ladies.
Donations.
There's $20 a week. Think of how.
No, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a week.
Or
you can do $5 a week.
Yeah, $5 a week. There you go. Someone gets a quick little bonus.
16. That's what. Yeah, 80 times, say we had 10 people, that's $800 for the pool.
10 people.
Look at that.
Like
oh, my God. Can we gamble on this show?
Yeah, right? This would be a great show.
What do you do with ties? You carry it over?
Carry over.
Like a skins game?
Yeah. Has to be very complicated.
No.
It's only fun if it's crazy complicated.
Not $5 each week
to play.
But
the total
at the end of the year, the winning record wins.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why the pool's like up to like 800 or something.
That's just ridiculous. Well, the pool's still 800 for you weekly. but everyone gets a piece of it. Makes it more fun.
I don't know. Yeah, sure. Sure.
Yeah.
You might end up with a lot of ties.
If you had like 800
with only
and
5
then-
games to
But
pick.
if there's a tie, like say if me and you tie 1 week for the winner, the next week whoever wins between me and you gets last week's pot. So now it's like crazy important. Now you got to consistently.
Well, if you do
perform.
that, then you go say, okay, 5 times 16 is 80. Then you go $80 at the beginning of the season, and then each week, if someone wins, you give them 25, and then you give them 25. I don't know how you would split it
Now
up.
you're
but-
making it very complicated.
Anyways,
we'll
that's,
have to discuss it.
Yeah,
that's
We'll have to
brainstorming
discuss
for
it.
next year, season 3. We'll figure it out.
There will be a pool though.
But let's go ahead with some Week 9 games. There's some good games on deck here, and I've tried to compile the best 5.
You might have got the best 5 games this week. I will say when I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, there's some heavies here. We'll start with a classic matchup. Steelers are in Baltimore. Baltimore is the favorite at -3. We'll start with our guest on the show, Difeo. Again, this is just straight up. I'm just giving you guys what the spread is, but
Yep.
we're just doing straight up.
I'm taking Baltimore.
Okay. Nash is also on Baltimore.
Wow.
He knows.
Smythe?
Oh, Pittsburgh. Steelers back, baby. I think I'm right on 10 of the season, to be honest with you.
I'm also taking Pittsburgh because I never... Well, that's not true. I took the Browns week
You took
1.
the Browns week 1,
Yeah,
which was a great pick. That was probably, so far, that might be pick of the year.
but they tied. So
I know, but still. You made the call. We
Still
all
got the
laughed,
L.
and then...
I know. You guys did laugh.
They would have covered the spread though,
Yes.
so consolation.
I would still like to do... I would
Consolation.
still like to do a spread pick weekly. But
I feel that that'll be part of the pool next year in
Yeah.
order to remove some of the ties.
Yeah.
You'll have to implement
spreads in?
the spread. Yeah.
That's a good idea. So I
like that.
I'm on board.
That is very good.
Game number 2, Jets at the Dolphins. Another division matchup here. Dolphins are the favorites at -3. I'm not sure, is Tannehill back or are they still riding?
Brocktober.
It's not October anymore.
He's rolling it in.
It's November.
It's
to November.
Brockvember.
Brockvember.
There we go. Here's the thing. He's not playing horrible.
No, he's not. He's won them a game.
That's all I'm saying. He's not playing terrible. I'm taking Miami at home with the points.
You always take Miami.
I do.
I am also on Miami.
I am also on Miami. And Nash is also on Miami.
Okay, so that's great game, Wells. Great pick. No. But the Jets aren't that bad.
No, they're not. They're a lot better than I thought they'd be this year.
Their defense is pretty banged up though. They're not in the best of health. So I
They're
believe
not in the best.
Brocktober will roll into November.
We'll roll into November.
And then what happens when Tannehill comes back?
He doesn't.
Ooh, quarterback controversy.
I don't think he does. Not this year.
A la Colin Kaepernick, Alex Smith,
Yeah.
2.0.
Game number 3 sees the Houston Texans roll into Denver, with Denver being -1 favorites. Smythe.
This is the hardest game to pick this week because Watson looked like he was Watson last week.
Well, they crushed. That was a Thursday nighter, right?
Yeah.
So they got a little extra rest.
Threw 5 TDs, looked great. But like normally, like I don't really trust him. In Denver's, they're consistent. Like have they thrown a stinker or are they who they are?
I don't know. They pumped Arizona
Like
2 weeks ago on the Thursday nighter, and they stuck with the Chiefs for most part last week, right? So I mean, they're kind of out of the picture. They're not going to win the division, obviously.
there's
but
no way.
I don't know if they
Division's
can make a wild card's kind of wide open, right? So
yeah, like
it's a tough game. It's a
my
cap.
concept is if Watson doesn't play amazing, they're gonna get smoked. And I think he's not gonna play amazing 2 weeks in a week, like 2 weeks in a row. I'm gonna take Denver.
Denver, okay. Nash is also taking Denver. Difeo.
I am rolling the dice on my newly appointed favorite NFL franchise, the Houston Texans.
Wow,
I am also taking
And
the Texans.
Demarius Thomas.
Demarius Thomas.
In the Insta homecoming, he's going to burn him.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Difeo is kind of a free agent when it comes to being a fan.
been a nomad.
Allegiance.
I've been a
It's
nomad.
allegiance.
Ever since the Browns drafted Jabril Peppers, I said that team is dead to me. The second it happened, and I told Wells when we were speaking on drafting, I said if the Browns take Jabril Peppers, I'm done. I said it on Horseplay. I've said it 1,000 times. What they do? They took Jabril Peppers. I said we're done. We cut ties. That franchise has been dead to me ever since, and I've been a nomad.
So why don't you tell everyone how you became a Texans fan? 'Cause I thought this was an interesting way to become a fan.
I bought a case of Budweiser beer. They now include the touchdown glass. So, but you don't just open a case and you get a glass. It comes with like a thing, like a piece of paper. You got to go online and you got to fill out, and you get to pick your team. Oh. So I got to the point where it was to pick a team. I told this lady that works for me, I said, I need to just pick a team. I said, it can't be Cleveland. It can't be New England because I hate those teams. Any other team, just pick one. Don't tell me. Don't say a word.
I just want to be surprised and get the glass.
Just pick it, and then they mail it to you for free.
Yeah.
So they mailed it. It took forever, by the way. I ordered this thing in like week 1. I got it in like week 8. So I had the box. I show Wells, and then I do a little unboxing video of the team. Out pops the Houston Texans. They are now my ride or die.
That is your team. Did you have it last week when they were scoring all those touchdowns and it lit up? Like, oh, that's perfect.
I did. Yeah.
All right, so just to recap, myself and Difeo are on the Texans, and you and Nash are on the Broncos. Now we get into probably the 2 games of the week.
It's crazy games.
2 good games. I think the best one we got here, the LA Rams are going into New Orleans. The Saints are -1.5 favorites. I will start off with this one. I'm taking New Orleans. They seem like the team. Like, I know the Rams are undefeated, but the Saints are really. I'm always like a Saints doubter, especially when they're on the road. I'm like, these guys are a different team on the road, but they've won 2 road games in a row. They went into Baltimore. They won there. Last week,
at home, aren't they?
Yeah, they are at home. That's what I'm saying. Is they went on the road and they dominated, and now they come home. And I mean, this is the game of the week, and I think. They're just playing on their mind. They got Mark Ingram back, and they're a different team now. Not that they were bad before.
They did lose Davenport.
There you go. That's still not going to hinge me.
It's not enough for you.
No.
It's a serious cog in that wheel of defense for New Orleans.
They don't play defense. Who cares? They don't care who's playing defense.
So I got New Orleans. Nash has New Orleans.
Oh, it's just like, come on, guys.
Smythe?
When we do our power rankings, you guys always talk about why am I putting New Orleans so high in the rankings? Why am I putting them high in the rankings? Now you guys both have them being the undefeated team. I call shenanigans. I also am taking New Orleans. Long story short, it's hard to go 16-0 in this league. You got to lose sometime. The beast has to get slain. The Patriots slay the other beast, which is KC. I think New Orleans is going to slay this beast this week. The Rams have no shame in losing this game.
But they want to win, probably.
They probably want to win, I'm saying, but they've been hanging on for a little while. Obviously, when good teams come into town, they're not at their best. New Orleans is a machine.
Yeah, they the Rams kind of looked beatable last week.
Exactly.
I only caught some of it, but
and that's 3 weeks in a row. We've been saying, hey man, they're a little shaky.
They had a trouble. Like their first half was not good.
Yep.
Last week. Difeo, are you sticking with us, or are you gonna?
No, I'm taking the Rams.
Good for you. Okay, that brings us to Sunday Nighter, our 5th game. Green Bay is going into New England. New England are -5.5 favorites. Difeo, start it up.
Can I just take the over in this game?
Yeah. You hate New England.
I do hate New England, and I'm gonna roll the dice with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers and my boy Aaron Jones.
Wow.
Okay. Smythe?
The Packers carry my fantasy team. Aaron Rodgers carries my fantasy team. But I think New England's got the game plan. They're going to just stomp these guys. And I think it's going to be like 20-3 stomping.
20-3? You think they're only get 3 points?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's one of those classic matchups.
You're going to lose your week of fantasy football, is what you're saying?
Yeah, basically. No, I'm still going to win. My team's great. I think that New England, they know how to plan for great quarterbacks. Like, remember all those times when Peyton Manning came into town and he came to Foxborough and he put up a stinker, and you wouldn't know why. It's just advanced planning. I think the Pats know what to do. I know Aaron Rodgers is a tough guy to stop, but don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, he just slings the football. And slinging the football alone can't beat the Patriots. I call New England. And I call them covering the spread if the spread's a touchdown.
Less than. I'm riding with Difeo here. I think Green Bay is going to pull off an upset here. I don't know. I think now you have kind of a solidified backfield. Aaron Jones he's got free reign. He's pretty much the go-to guy, even though Jamal Williams is there. But I think when you have that sort of mindset, that guy might go off. I think he might have a big week. Obviously, Rodgers is Rodgers.
Want to trade for him?
I kind of do. But I think like Rodgers is big time, right? I still think he's the best quarterback in the league. And we saw what they did in LA last week, and they took if it wasn't for that fumble by Montgomery at the end, they could have won that game.
They scored 20.
Thanks to Aaron Jones.
I just think
The Pats are going to score 30.
yeah, probably. That's why Difeo was saying take the over.
And if you're comparing the Rams defense and the Pats defense,
Yeah, that's true.
Come on
that's
now.
diff- But I think coaching and planning will mean something, especially in New England. It means something.
I think if it's a shootout,
They'll be ready.
the trade candidate that you couldn't think of, Clinton Dix.
right?
Ah.
Oh man, I might change this pick.
I don't know. I'm very. I think the Packers are an average football team, and it's a good thing they play an average football division because they're still going to win it. But the Pats are part of the elite. And once you get into the elite teams, I don't think Green Bay has a chance to beat any of them. And I know we saw Montgomery; he fumbled the ball, but I don't know.
Montgomery was a bum, and that's why he's at a 10.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's a good
Can
call.
Can I say that word?
You bum?
Yeah.
Bum's
Yeah.
a good word.
Okay.
Bum's a good
What
word.
else could you say?
He is a bum.
Like, what else could you
How
say?
quick they shipped him out of town.
After that fumble?
You're out, guy.
Hey, you dropped the football. Get out of here.
I forgot.
After he pulled a little hissy fit on the sidelines, then you have the audacity not to take a knee in the end zone and run it out and try to be a hero. You're not a hero. You're a third string running back on that team.
It's not his fault. He used to be a wide receiver. They made him a running back.
I forgot to mention in our Week 8 recap, Fitzmagic is back.
Yeah, he is back.
That's weird. 'Cause
The beard is back.
I didn't think it was playing that bad.
Oh,
Are you kidding me? He
Really?
had four picks in that game.
So
And it was like, what, the first half?
yeah, he leads the NFL in interceptions.
He's terrible. That
Since
guy might be
2015.
like Jamarcus Russell territory of bust.
He also
not.
is second in the NFL in fumbles lost since 2015.
he's a pile of trash. He is trash.
There's only one player who has more turnovers than him
But Winston was
since he came into the league.
he was putting up points though.
Can you name that quarterback?
Peter? No.
No,
He didn't play
no,
the
come
points.
on.
I know. It's just it was just funny.
Oh, that's a good question, actually. That's good trivia.
That is good trivia.
Since
Well, give me the year.
Jameis Winston came into the league, what, 2015?
15?
So the last
3
4
years,
seasons.
4 seasons.
He has 90 turnovers, whether it's
90
him fumbling and losing the ball
turnovers.
or picks.
Who
And
has
someone has
more?
91.
And he's never played a playoff game.
Andrew Luck.
No.
This doesn't include playoffs.
I'm just saying he's never played a playoff game, 90 turnovers. And he's
I
never
can
played
only
a
think of
playoff-
Andrew Luck.
No, it's not Andrew Luck.
Remember, Luck missed the whole season.
Yeah.
Right division, though.
Blake
Bortles?
Bortles.
Blake Bortles.
The only person more trash than Jameis Winston is Blake Bortles.
And Bortles had an amazing year last year. So that's how bad Bortles was for those years
Was,
before. Let's close out talking about NFL with your always interesting power rankings, Smythe, your top 5.
Let's dig into it.
And give us your honorable mentions as well.
Yeah. Okay, so my honorable mentions this week are the team from Washington,
The R words.
leading the division, playing good football, and the Carolina Panthers, who I really wanted to put in the top 5, but I can't. You can't. You just really can't. There's 5 teams that are better than them. Number 5, the Chargers. They got a bit of a cakewalk coming up. Seattle, Oakland, Denver, Arizona. But they close the season out with 4 tough games. Pittsburgh, Cincy, KC, Baltimore. You have Denver again at the end. But they can come out 9-2 before they hit the tough part of their season. And they might be far enough ahead that they can squeeze in the playoffs somehow. Because that division obviously is amazing. Number 4, Saints, chance to slay the beast. Next week they got Cincy, which they'll be in a must-win. Then they got Philly, who will also be in a must-win. So those are 2 tough weeks. After that, though, it's kind of smooth sailing. I'm not going to lie. If New Orleans gets it done this week, then winning that division is almost a lock. Here we are. Number 3, Patriots. They got 3 more big games the whole season. They got Green Bay this week, Minnesota week 13, Pittsburgh week 15. Everything else is absolute win territory. If the Patriots lose any games besides those ones at the end of the season, then it'll be like amazing. So the worst they're going to finish is 11-5. Good enough to take a division, obviously.
11-6.
Yeah. The Chiefs only for real till
11-5,
Thanksgiving.
sorry, my bad.
When is Thanksgiving? When is Thanksgiving in the States?
22nd of November.
Okay, it's pretty late. Okay. Because I was saying their Thanksgiving games against the Rams, but that's the 19th, so it's a couple days before. But anyway, right after that, Baltimore, Seattle, and the Chargers.
Who's this?
KC.
Oh, they're number 2.
All losable games. Number 2. All losables.
Well, we all know Andy Reid after Thanksgiving,
Right. The thing about, so I'm like, it's kind of not fair. This schedule gets really hard after Thanksgiving. So if things go awry, like, obviously, number 1, we have the Rams. If they escape this next couple weeks undefeated, they might run the table. They got New Orleans, Seattle, KC, then a bye. After the bye week, schedule's not as hard. If they can get to the bye week undefeated, 16-0 is a possibility. My guess is, though, they don't get out of this week and they lose that KC battle. 14-2 is not bad.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. So there's my top 5. There it is.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean,
It's better than it was before.
that's pretty. That's like it's hard to debate that.
I mean, listen, the Rams being at number 1, like, come on, how many big games have they
No,
played?
I'm not debating the Rams.
Well, they
No,
beat
no.
the Vikings and the Packers. Like they've done.
The Rams are the best team in the NFL right
Yeah.
now.
You can't, and then like the Chiefs number 2 and New England's 3. There's really no. I mean, that's where we are right now.
No arguments.
That's why I say like this week was uneventful because it's kind of like
Nothing happened.
You're kind of you're separating, the weak teams from the good teams,
Yeah.
and the good teams keep winning and the weak teams keep losing. So
Yeah.
I think next week we should switch it up and you should do your bottom 5 teams.
Bottom 5?
Yeah,
I'll do a top 5 and a bottom 5.
sure.
I want more screen time.
Next week
There we go.
it's happening.
Ready.
I'm still hosting next week, so
The Bills will be the bottom team. No questions about it.
any other last football words we want to?
Do you guys
Touch
have
on.
a crazy upset of the week?
Crazy upset for this week?
For this week? I've only hit one of these. I called the Detroit beating New England, which is a good call.
Yeah, you did actually. Matt Patricia revenge game.
Green Bay beating New England. That's
that's your big one.
That's my upset.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh over Baltimore. Not a big upset, but
It's not an upset. Is it?
if we're talking about gambling, there's some certain lines I like. Chicago's -10 in Buffalo. Again, Buffalo has Nate Peterman starting. Carolina is only -6 at home against Tampa.
Because of
Fitz
the
Magic.
Because Fitz
yeah.
is back. Dude, I'm not going to lie. I believe in Fitz, bro. I think they cover that. I believe in him.
I think Fitzy drops a 30 burger fantasy.
I believe in him. If we're taking it my cover of the week, I think the Browns are going to cover Kansas City at home this week.
I think that game's a rout. An absolute rout.
Of course, it looks like that.
Yeah, we'll see how it is with their.
KC might. No, the Browns don't have the
Don't have it?
capacity
They
or
can't figure it
players.
out.
It's not a look ahead game either because KC has Arizona next week. Which you want to talk about routes? That game will be a route
No,
next
that's gonna be
week.
embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really like the 5.5 for Green Bay to cover New England is the biggest spread that we're all taking that on our picks. I don't really see any other upsets other than the Steelers and Baltimore. -3 is the perfect line because every time they play, it's always within 3 points.
Yeah.
Atlanta Washington should be a good game,
Should be,
right?
could
Like,
be. That might be low. Like Washington 1.5 is a little low. I think.
right?
I think they might.
We're also
Toronto.
getting into that time of year where weather starts to play a factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
know,
All these like
yeah.
50-point
Cold,
totals.
rain.
It's a water, just a rain game. It's good old rain games.
There's also 6 teams on the bye this week, so it's
Yeah.
it's tough to choose.
I've never
here.
seen a 16 bye week before. Is this
Last week
new?
was 6 as well.
Is it new though, or are they just throwing like
no, it's
two,
just
two?
the middle of the season, man.
Good
Like that,
form.
I think they have back-to-back 6 teams, and it goes like 4-4, and I think 2-2, and then
Yeah, before we had
No, week 11, 6 as well.
it is
4.
Yeah, and
week
then-
week 12 is 2, and that's
Week-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, before week 4 till week 12, you had 4 teams every week, right?
No, week 4 and week 5, there was only 2 teams on buys.
This year. But I'm saying before, it used to be 4 every week. Didn't matter what. Now we have 2s and 6s. It's weird.
Really ruins my red zone Sundays.
Right?
With these 16 buys. Okay, let's switch gears. Let's recap baseball. The season is now over. Sunday night, we saw the season end. The Red Sox went wire to wire as the best team in baseball. They dominated regular season, pretty much dominated the playoffs. As much as none of us wanted it to happen, it happened. Every time, I was like, no, I just can't see them winning. I know they have great offense, but their pitching, it's not buying it. But they proved us all wrong, and they pretty easily they should have swept that. They should have swept that series.
It was actually kind of scary how good they were. Like, they were just the best team in the league. I don't know how else to say it.
Well, they could have swept it. It also could have been 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Dodgers jump out to that 4-0 lead in Game 4.
Yeah.
And then,
that was the turning point right there. As soon as they blew it,
right?
that was it. Like, it's hard to come back from that. But being up 4-0 in the 7th, like, that series was shifting. Not saying that was going to go towards Dodgers' favor, but, like, you know, you go 2-2.
Well,
you have that 5th game at home
and you have
with
that
Kershaw.
5th game at home with Kershaw.
Yeah, you pull that 18-inning win.
You get,
you
get that
have a
18-inning
chance.
win,
You have a
You
chance.
get that momentum start to swing.
Yeah.
You jump out that 4-0 lead, then you really start to get that momentum.
If they put that game away, this could be a different World Series, right? Like, to be honest,
Could have ended last night in Game 7.
Yeah, let's be honest, right? That's where we were. But execution, at the end of the day, Boston's on a different level. Like, we talked about how they out executed the Yankees
I feel like a lot of players cost themselves money,
in that series.
like free agents.
Well, in baseball, they don't pay.
Well,
anybody.
on the flip side, you could say a lot of guys made some money, too. Nate Eovaldi being the biggest one.
Yeah.
And Steve Pearce as well.
This is terrible.
Sorry, we're kind of
we're watching football.
watching this Thursday night football game where the Raiders are proving they really are
the worst team.
one of the worst teams in football.
They're really bad.
So Red Sox win in 5. Steve Pearce is named the World Series MVP. Hit
The
3.
steal of 2018.
It's true, and you know, like, good for them. Like, they paid a very, very small price to get Steve Pearce. But I mean, like, what was
where was his value at the time? Yeah, there was no value there.
Right?
There was
Like,
no value.
He's a free agent coming up. He's in his mid-30s.
Yep.
He couldn't play every day. He can't play defense much, although he looked great at first.
It's crazy how there's certain players that, like, because when Steve Pearce got traded, I'm not going to be like, he's going to be the MVP, but I was just like, that's a good pickup.
No, for sure.
Like, right?
A lot of people said that too.
That's
like,
a good piece right there.
Yeah.
You know, and he ends up coming out and having a great series. I mean, at the end of the day, how many games are you playing? It's only a couple of games.
No, it was as soon as he got traded there, I thought it was a great move. Lefty killer, kills the Yankees every time he plays them. So they knew
And when lefties were pitching, wasn't he hitting third?
he was right up there.
Right in between
they knew.
Betts and JD, which is a very
You're going to see some pitches.
very comfortable spot
Yeah.
to hit.
Experience, I don't know. In baseball, the age works. In those important at bats, age is okay. I will never say I wouldn't put a 24-year-old in if I had a 35-year-old guy that's been through it that can go in there and make a hit in front of 60,000 people.
And so, also, I mean, David Price kind of exerted any
killed the
demons of being a failure in the playoffs. I mean, okay, we saw against the Astros, he kind of faltered
shaky.
a bit, but then, like, you know, he had that bounce back game where they won the series, and then game 2 looked great, and then he just kind of helped out here and there in the bullpen, and then, you know, he eventually was the game-winning pitcher for game 5. And
Way to boost a guy's confidence, right?
for sure.
They went from not being able to put this guy in the game to, you know what, you're going to pitch the game
And
winning.
hats off to Alex Cora, who I thought was amazing.
Did a great job.
Managing his bullpen, his bench, his lineup, utilizing every single person. There was no wasted roster spaces at all on that team. Whether it was from, you know, believing in Price again to guys like Brock Holt and Eduardo Nunez with a big home run, pinch hit home run in game 1. Cora just outmanaged Roberts. He outmanaged everyone in the playoffs.
I was going to say...
And he basically just put Puerto Rican managers on the map because now everybody looking for a manager
Right.
is trying to hire a Puerto Rican.
So that actually is a great segue.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it was
Literally
coming.
every single team is trying to hire a Puerto Rican
Uh,
guy now.
Perfect segue into my
I'm
next
not trying
topic.
to, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but like.
No, that's not
Like,
offensive
literally,
at all.
like every single team now,
Yeah.
the leading candidate's a Puerto Rican.
Yeah, hey.
So we'll segue into the next topic. The Toronto Blue Jays have hired their new manager of Puerto Rican descent, Charlie Montoyo.
This guy wasn't even on the radar.
No, it's
he wasn't
funny.
even on the radar.
They were like, by the way, we're going to
was
interview
like-
Charlie Montoya,
yeah.
and we've hired him. Like, what?
Yeah, it was
Who
like
is this guy?
Rocco Baldelli,
Who went
and
to
like-
Minnesota.
and then there was a couple other guys.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this guy's been named the new man. I'm like, who?
Yeah, Joe Espada was also on the radar.
Now-
and Brandon Hyde.
Is he the fall guy?
But Joe Espada's like, I think he wasn't Puerto Rican. I think he's Mexican.
Yeah. So he was. There's no way he's going to get the job. Is he the fall guy though? Montoya's going to come in. He's going to do 3 seasons, rebuild this team back to whatever, then they let him go.
Yeah, it's
and they bring in an old white dude
it's
that's going to take him to prominence. Is,
Yeah,
is that how it's
take
going to
all the
happen?
glory.
Right?
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's. I mean, I watched his interview when he they did the thing on Monday, the press conference, and like it's pretty hard to root against this guy. Seems like a great guy. He's paid his dues, that's for sure.
Yep.
He was with the Rays organization from day one in 1997. 18 years as the minor league coach.
Yep.
Was a third base coach for 2 years, I think, and then he was the bench coach for the last 2 years with the Rays under Kevin Cash. And he just seems like a nice guy. Seems like he knows the game obviously a lot. Speaks Spanish, which I guess is a big draw. Like a lot of the people. Well, I mean, like a lot of the upcoming baseball players, not just on the Jays, but in MLB, are prized Latin players, right? Like Acuna and
Well, they said
Adames.
he spent 18 years in the minors, and he's going to come here and develop minor league players. Basically, he's developing kids.
Sure.
Right? So he spent 18 years with them. He knows what to do. It's a great fit. But when they get back to competing, it won't be a great fit.
Yeah, I
that's
think
the
Well,
problem.
because at that point, a bigger name guy,
Sure.
let's say a Terry Francona
That's it.
becomes available as the Jays are ready to take that next step.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like the Cubs, right? The Cubs hired that guy when they were in full
Yeah.
rebuild mode.
Yeah.
And they were losing, but they were in rebuild mode. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't expect much. Like, this guy's literally just out there playing kids every day.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, Madden becomes available. Well, okay, now it's go time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him in that sense because I feel like we're going to use him and then dump him when we become a contender
Sure.
again, which I don't agree with. I'll be honest with you. But I guess
But he
that's
has
how the
to
system
know.
works.
He has to know.
He 100%.
somewhere in his little head that he has to know that might be the plan. But
he knows.
But who
He
knows,
knows
right?
right
like,
now.
like a lot of people are trying to compare the success he could have next year is similar to what the Rays did this year, which I know they didn't make the playoffs, but 90 wins is nothing to sniff at, right?
This division, 90 wins doesn't do anything.
No, you're right.
You can win as many games as you feel like. You got to be at 100 and what, 6?
Yeah, but
where were the Yankees this year?
100 wins.
The
100
Jays,
wins.
The Jays get
To have a
the
shot.
Jays sniff 90 wins next year, and that might qualify him as coach of the year.
Oh, of course, a crowning achievement. But you won't touch the playoff. It's insane. It's insane, this division.
But at least if you're sniffing 90 wins, at least the games in September mean something.
sure.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, think of it. The Jays made the playoffs the 2 years that Boston and the Yankees were rebuilding. That's the only
if you
reason.
want to call it rebuild.
The only reason these
Reloading.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the only reason the Jays made the playoffs. Now that those guys are back, it's 101 wins to have a sniff at the playoffs. It's insane.
Yeah, well, look at the Red Sox. The Yankees and Astros, both 100-win teams, and they went all over them, right? Like, and even like what the Cubs won 99 games, and they didn't even make the wild card game.
They go. It's crazy.
But
It's crazy.
yeah, I think Smythe, you're right about him being kind of like the fall guy. It seems like a pretty safe,
Patsy.
yeah, safe hire for to either if it works out, he stays. If it doesn't, we all knew he was going to be the guy who was going to go. And then Difeo also was right about they'll find someone like a big name who will be available at that point, whoever it may be at that point.
You know what I'm shocked about is you don't hear Mike Matheny available for any jobs.
Well, it seems like he left.
Left the game.
Well, it seems like he left a bad taste in like the mouths of St. Louis.
Which seems weird, doesn't it? Because
Well, they brought in their guy and they started winning again, right? And then that guy got hired right away, like to be the full-time manager.
I guess he just kind of wore himself out of town. I don't know.
Well,
things seems to be going pretty good there for a few years.
Yeah, you're right. But they had a bad start this year, and then as soon as they let them go, they started winning. They were right in the thick of the playoffs until the last day of the year, last weekend of the year.
Yeah.
Who's left? What teams are still looking for a manager? I'm not sure. There's still like 2 teams left.
The Dodgers soon.
Maybe.
That's not called for.
Is it though? Is it not fair to say?
It's true, man. You went to the World Series 2 years in a row.
And is it not fair to say that it would appear that Roberts overmanaged?
No, not overmanaged. Just
I think he overmanaged.
To be honest, I think the World Series started.
This guy left like 90+ home runs on his bench because a lefty was starting the game.
You gotta go with logic at that
do
point.
That.
I think once you're out talented, you just make decisions that don't make sense.
But they're not really out talented.
At what point was Alex Cora saying Steve Pearce is the best hitter, the hottest hitter on my team right now? I don't care if it's a righty or lefty.
You put him on. Yeah, that's
Steve Pearce would never play against righties.
Yeah, and that's the difference.
He was just a lefty guy.
Yeah,
in the platoon, and then Cora was like, I don't care who's got the ball. Pierce is hitting.
You get in there. You're hot.
So
you get in there.
I'm going to leave 90+ home runs on my bench because there's a lefty on them. Come on.
That's bad decision making. Right? But that's
terrible.
That's why.
Muncy, I get. He wasn't very good, and Freese was very good. But like to leave Bellinger, I mean Grandal, I guess he stunk too. He cost himself some money.
Yeah, at one point you have too much talent, you don't know what to do. And they had a point where
but it's also like trying
got
to
all these guys
into a rhythm.
Overmanaged the bullpen.
Yeah, he didn't really do good job with the bullpen. He was bringing Jansen in the 8th inning of every game. Like you have all these starters on their team who they like.
That's how I feel like Craig Counsell's downfall too. His best reliever, he keeps bringing him in the 6th. Like
hater.
Yeah, in close games, like you need that guy later. Like you don't need that guy to survive the middle innings. You need that guy at the end of the game when you need to put that on lockdown.
Baseball's changed, man. Baseball. If your starter goes to inning number 7, it's amazing.
I also feel like managers now are getting so scrutinized. Like the magnifying glass is way more on them so much now because of these like
they're just pulling triggers.
Bullpens are so bigger, like they're bigger than they've ever been in the history of baseball, right?
Yep.
I mean, they kind of came into significance in the 80s and 90s, but now it's like your bullpen is kind of like your key to your success and how you manage it.
It's more important than your starters.
When do you
like your starter hits 95 pitches, and you're thinking,
is it more
who's
important
coming in?
Because did it help the Yankees to have a great bullpen and a god awful rotation?
Well, is it more important than your starters?
Your starters?
Probably not.
Your starters still need to get guys
but your
out.
starters now are pitching 5 innings.
Well, they don't want them to face. They want to face the lineup the third time. Right?
Third time is
unless they're cruising.
Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever. I feel like if you pay a guy a ton of money, that guy pitches.
Sure.
And if he bombs, he bombs. But hey, he's the guy making all the money. But that's also not the best way to do it.
All these managers are working like in Mr. Baseball.
Yeah.
Remember that movie? The coach, first guy gets hit by you're out. You're out.
Last topic on MLB. 3 years ago, I would have said this is the greatest free agent class of all time coming up. And now I'm kind of like, it's a good one. I mean, there's still 2 heavies, but then after that, it's kind of
potentially 4.
You think so?
Well, if Kershaw opts out,
I don't think he is. Where is he going to go? Like, I mean, sorry, someone will sign him, but like, I don't think he wants to go
potential
anywhere.
is there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's hard to not play in LA, man. LA is a great place to live.
But he's from Texas.
So what? No one wants to go where they.
Maybe he goes to Houston.
Do you want to go buy tickets for your whole family every single year?
You go to.
Well, if you get paid enough, you will.
You go to the Rangers. They're going to open up a new ballpark soon.
Yeah.
You never know.
So, but now we come into this free agency, and some of the guys like a couple years ago, you said like Donaldson, McCutchen. You've been like, wow, like this is a stacked free agency. But now we got Harper and Machado are leading the way. Those are the first 2 big names, and after that,
can we say everything else is trash? There's some pitchers in there, but
it's not trash at all. There's a lot of good pieces.
I'm not going to say Josh Donaldson's trash.
Yeah,
trash.
Not yet.
Trash.
But he's definitely
mid-tier
going downwards.
to trash.
So Josh Donaldson is still one of the premier hitters.
But he's going to play 60 games for you in the season.
How do you know that?
Because he gets hurt every year. It doesn't like it's one of those.
Can't wait till we talk hockey, Smythe.
We're going to get there, and I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to say the same thing.
Donaldson, just to recap, was traded before the August 31st
The
trade
bringer
deadline.
of player to be named later.
Yeah, which actually, he went 1 for 11 with a line drive single in the playoffs. That's all he did.
Yep.
Didn't really play much in the regular season for Cleveland.
Unceremoniously.
Yeah, just and then
Nobody for Cleveland hit though.
That's true.
Let's be fair.
They had a tough series.
Let's not pin that on him.
They had a very tough
Nobody
series.
outside of Lindor hit in the playoffs.
They had a very tough series.
So here are my top 5 free agents, and then
How
you guys
much money they cost themselves in 2018.
Yeah, and you guys can add on to any more free agents you feel can be added to this list. And
Are
where
we
you,
guessing potential destinations?
Yeah, and we're gonna guess where you think they're gonna end up. So I got 5 right here off the hop. If you guys want to add on any other players where you think they're gonna go ahead. So obviously Harper Machado are number 1 and 2. I think Harper's gonna stay in Washington. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else is gonna pony up the money for how much Boris is gonna demand for this guy. I would say the other 2 teams may be interested or not interested, but who could maybe throw out the money for it, and he would go are the Cubs because he's buddy with Bryant. They're both from Vegas, and the Yankees because
the Yankees aren't signing him. They've already said they're not signing him.
Well, I won't believe it until he signs somewhere else.
Yeah.
Where's he going to play?
Center field. He's only 26.
No.
I like Aaron Hicks. I like Brett Gardner. Well, I don't really like Brett Gardner.
The Yankees are going to spend their money.
What if you could
on
sign
pitching?
Okay, listen.
You wait till we get Kershaw. You could drop the Yankees in there because I'm sure they'd be willing to drive a Brinks truck to his house right now.
What if I said to you the Yankees can sign Harper, and then they would trade Hicks or Gardner for some pitching help? You're not going to get a whole lot. Hicks actually will bring you something. No,
I wouldn't do it.
Okay. So I got Harper going to Washington, staying in Washington. I got Machado going to Philly because they need a shortstop.
Do they?
J.P. Crawford.
It's like 20 years old, man.
Yeah, but
you're gonna write him off already?
No,
after
I'm not.
a year?
I'm not saying you're gonna write him off, but if you can get Machado, that team isn't that far away.
Can we not argue after the whole Dodger experiment and after 2018, actually on the whole, Machado is not a shortstop as much as he wants to be.
I 100% agree. His defensive efficiency.
He needs to wake up and realize he's a premier third baseman.
Yes.
He is a below average shortstop.
I 100% agree. I don't know why he's so adamant about being a shortstop when his defensive WAR or whatever it is, I saw he was like a 3 at third base and he was a minus 0.1 at shortstop for the Dodgers. So I don't know why he's I'm a shortstop. I don't know why he needs to be a shortstop, but
some more value, more money in it for him to play shortstop.
I don't
teams
think
need third basemen just as much as they need shortstops.
Yeah.
Potentially even more nowadays because there's so many. Back in the Jeter Garcia Parra era,
sure, yeah.
there was no shortstops.
Yeah. But now you got shortstops coming everywhere.
Yeah.
Lindor, Story, all these big names. Didi, Xander Bogaerts. It's just
there's a list.
Yeah.
It's almost like every team's got a half decent shortstop now.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, I got Machado going to Philly. Donaldson, I got
Machado going to Philly.
Machado.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Donaldson going to St. Louis. I mean, that should have been done 2 years ago with a trade, but I think he finally ends up there at third. I got Patrick Corbin going to the Yankees, which seems like it's almost gonna be a done deal. That's what everyone's saying. I don't know, man. That's he had a career year last year on a free agency year. Always fishy, but I mean that reeks of a Yankees move.
But he's gonna get paid.
He'll get paid. He'll be the highest if Kershaw opts out.
Yeah,
Kershaw will be the highest paid pitcher. If Corbin is the if Kershaw stays in LA, then I think Corbin will be the highest paid pitcher in the offseason. And I threw in a reliever here. Adam Ottavino is a free agent from the Rockies. He had a very quiet, amazing year last year, sub 2 ERA, 13 strikeouts per 9. And in this day and age, we were talking about with relievers being such big cogs to teams, I think he gets paid. I don't think he's going to be worth it, but that's another thing about relievers too, is they're not always worth it, right? If you're paying, look at Brett Cecil got paid $9 million a year to pitch out in St. Louis.
$9 million is nothing.
But for a reliever, a guy is going to pitch 60 innings a year.
Yeah, that's
and not a closer.
Yeah,
and he stunk it up this year. Yeah. Stunk it up the last 2 years.
Well, he sucks. Okay.
Any other? You guys agree with those destinations? I didn't say where Avila's going to go.
I don't agree
I
with
don't agree with
Harper.
that. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I look at Harper. I feel like he's done his swan song in Washington. I think he's gone. But I don't know where he's going to go. You know what I mean? Like I can see him in a place like Texas or whatever. I don't see him staying. Right? But I think a lot of movement, like the pitchers are going to be traveling. Those are my main like J Happ. Where is he going to go?
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to go back to the Jays.
No, I don't think so
Because
either.
no one wants a part of that.
There's
I don't
like
think
there's no
anyone
reason
wants
for
a
where
part
the
of that.
Jays. They're not going to be successful this year, as much as he might like it there.
Does he stay with the Yankees? I don't think the Yankees keep him. And then my other guy's Andrew Miller.
See, he want to talk about losing money. That guy
Yeah,
was
rough
hurt
time.
all year. He's not the same guy he was when we saw him in the playoffs 2-3 years ago,
Yeah.
who dominated. He like Josh Hader did this year. Where do you think, Smythe? Where do you think Machado will go then?
Machado, I think he's going to go the highest bidder.
Yeah, which is who?
I don't know. I really think that the Rangers have a lot to prove, and they're going to go bonkers this year spending money on players. So he could end up there. But
Rangers also need a manager, by the way.
I'm always like, I don't know, like, you know, where are these guys going to sign? Because who knows when to dump the money into them, right? There's no like Machado's going to play third anywhere he goes. He would like to play short.
He wants to play short.
He would like to play short, but eventually they're going to be like, we're going to give you $25 million and you're going to play third. And he's going to be like, okay. Like, right? Like, at the end of the day,
I think he's looking for more than that.
I don't think anyone's going to get more than that this year. They're done paying guys. That's what Bryce Harper's worth it. Machado,
JD Martinez getting $25 million a year.
Yeah.
I think Machado can get 30.
I don't know, man. Everyone they've risked 30 on, if you look at it, it's not worked out.
Hey man, I agree. It's a lot of money. So, who's made 30? Greinke,
Price.
Pujols,
David Price, Pujols. I don't think is
No.
30. Miguel
25?
Cabrera's in his $30 million, and that's
Stanton.
Oh,
Yeah, Stanton's what, on year 4 now,
Yeah.
and Kershaw, but Kershaw might re-up to even more. Difeo, you want to weigh in on any of these?
Harper.
Yeah.
Phillies.
Okay.
Machado. White Sox.
Wow.
Really? You want to talk about? Come on, man, Tim Anderson.
I don't feel that he's a shortstop.
White Sox, really?
But look at the left side of their infield on the whole.
White Sox interesting team because they have a lot of young pieces coming up that could be a surprise team. I don't know about next year.
I'm not saying next year either.
Or the
but
year after that.
Also, if they have the money.
Or the year after that.
How could I don't think that the money's an issue.
No, I don't think so either. Okay, interesting. That's a bold prediction.
Yeah, I'm rolling the dice on that one.
Rolling the dice there.
It was either that or go with both of them to Philly.
Oh wow! Imagine that.
They have the cash, and it's
course
been
they do.
rumored.
Well, I've heard Philly's going to be pushing hard for both. We'll get one for sure.
I honestly do not believe.
That's Kittle too. He almost went all the
That
way.
was like 80 yards. That was legit like 80 yards.
He almost went the house too.
Um,
I just saw him grab his head, and I thought he forgot the oven on at home or something.
I gotta go.
no, or an 80-yard completion to a tight end. Look at this. Yeah.
Oh
No,
no.
just gave him a tap on the shoulder pads as he
Still
passes
available
by.
for trade, guys.
I offered a trade and you refused.
I said after week 9.
After week 9, he says.
Anyway, sticking to the topic.
I also agree with you with Donaldson and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
What about Dallas Keuchel?
Keuchel's probably...
I feel he's probably going to go back to Houston.
I don't think anyone.
Keuchel and Morton are both free agents on that team.
I just feel like they're going to bring Keuchel back.
Houston has a lot of free agents this year.
Is it time? Are they breaking up the band?
They'll be fine.
Also, one more reliever, Kimbrel.
Kimbrel, yeah. You know what, man? You want to talk about losing money, too?
Yeah.
He did not look that good in the playoffs. And he's on the downward swing of things. I think he's 29, 30 now.
You
Now-
see his dad?
Yeah, what a... I didn't think you could look any sillier than him. My goodness.
Do you think that teams pay though for performance in the playoffs, or just the actual
Kimber
effort to
wasn't
get
very good
there?
all year.
No. Did they go back to him?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, finish the job off.
There you go.
I'm gonna lose fantasy.
To the worst team in the
To
league.
the worst team in the league.
Dude, Corey?
No, me.
Wells.
Yeah, well, sucks, bro.
But you know, he's put an absolute beating on me now.
So, yeah.
Plus, I took the Raiders on the money line.
That might be done. That might be
Thinking this kid who's never thrown a pass in the NFL is ripe for a beating. And Wells already has 20 points.
done. Really?
Kittle's got 15.
Just to go to your fantasy league for a second, if you have a 20-point league,
You're in the fantasy league.
Yeah, I know.
You can call it ours.
if you have a 20-point league in this league, it's over.
No.
20
that's not
points up is the death sentence
Nope.
in this league.
true. I will not say that at all. Not with my feces team.
I will go. If I'm up by 20, I can close my thing and be like, well, this is over, and like slap.
No, listen. Christian McCaffrey is gonna drop easy 20 this week against Tampa.
Yeah.
So
That could be...
Fitzmagic's gonna drop 30.
Oh my god.
Mind you, Mahomes might drop 50. So it could be a real slugfest
It could be.
between myself and Wells in fantasy.
Okay, let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
Till I check my fantasy.
Yeah. Let's just... Give me some more free agents. I don't know. Smythe, you haven't really chimed in because I feel you're unprepared as usual.
Here's the thing. When I saw this come up, I was like, who knows where they're gonna go? So I just brought up a list.
Here, Wilson Ramos.
There you go.
Everybody needs a catcher, man.
I feel like he's destined to be a DH, though.
I feel like he's
gotta stay in
destined
AL.
to be a Dodger.
Really?
Because Grandal is garbage.
You don't think that Ramos is going to have to stay in the AL after all of his injury troubles? I mean, he's a solid hitter. I'm not too sure about his defensive work, but I can't see him going to the NL.
What about the Moose?
Mustakis, yeah.
I feel like,
he might stay in Milwaukee.
he kind of got pooped on this year. Like, nobody wanted to give him any money.
Which I don't understand.
Right? And
I'd give him more money than Donaldson.
And then he performed again this year.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get with him. He's solid.
I feel like I think Milwaukee brings him back.
So do I.
I think that's the right move for them. AJ Pollock.
He's interesting. Him and Blackman. Blackman from the Rockies are both free agents. I mean, there's a lot of free agents. A lot of
Blackman?
yeah. Chuck Nasty is a free agent.
Yeah, that's an interesting play right there.
Is it?
All right, we're done here with this topic.
He may go. I think Blackman would stay.
Sure, who doesn't want to stay in Colorado?
Yeah.
Get your payday. Let's go to the NBA here.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about DeMar DeRozan this year?
Renaissance year for him?
It's
Living-
like he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, but he doesn't need to.
He's living his dream of not having to play defense and just
yeah.
Pop learned last year.
But
so
he's getting the ball, end of the games, hitting the shots, and then he's saying, "This is who I am. I've always been this guy."
Yeah, but
which
it's not
is
his fault.
come on, man.
it's not his fault. He had to say something.
He's getting cocky.
Here's the thing.
Let him get
Pop
caught.
and LaMarcus Aldridge had an issue last year where Pop was trying to change who Aldridge was. Aldridge is an all-star NBA player. He is who he is. You can't change him. Pop learned a lesson. He said, I learned from that. I get DeMar DeRozan. I'm not going to try to make this guy defend. I'm not going to try to change this guy. I'm going to just let this guy be who he is. That's my piece and figure it out. Under that kind of system, DeMar DeRozan flourishes.
Sure.
Right? It's an easy win for, I guess, all involved, technically, at that point.
But I'm not trying to talk about his role. I'm talking about his attitude right now.
He's always arrogant, man.
There's difference between being confident, arrogant, and just
Cocky.
He's being cocky.
That's okay. What do you want from the guy? He's
But,
averaging 30 a game and 9 assists. What do you want from him? Would you like him to
assists,
be
really?
Yeah.
Well, he's thriving under the Popovich mid-range jump shot game.
Yeah.
He's playing 37 minutes a night. He's on the court the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, pump his tires all you want. Guess what he does in the playoffs?
Exactly.
Disappears.
And they're going to learn.
DeMar DeRozan is the epitome of empty promises. He's the best 82 game player in the NBA.
Right?
Because when it comes down to crunch time,
Game 83.
he vanishes.
Right. And
So can we say?
He's a Sunday scary is what he is.
So can we say? Maybe he's just waiting for his David Price moment.
wow.
No.
Can we clap for Wells for bringing that up?
Why?
It's been
What, to shed his playoff demons?
It's been 9 years. Maybe this year in the playoffs he's great. We don't know.
No, well, guess what? In the playoffs, they play defense. He still doesn't do that.
That's a good point.
He still can't hit threes. In the West,
He's
that's
not even.
gonna be
He's
essential.
not even shooting them anymore. Because at least in Toronto last year he was taking them. He's not taking them anymore. That's
No,
out of his game.
San Antonio is. I think they're like bottom 3 or bottom 2 in the league for 3-point percentage this year.
Well, their two best players don't shoot it. Now, they lost their point guard, who, first of all, he's a great point guard. He's long, he defends, he shoots decent. Patty Mills can't carry it by himself. They're not a good 3-point shooting team.
DeMar DeRozan's great in the regular season. Everybody in Toronto misses him. Boo-hoo.
No, you know what?
Okay, everyone.
No one in Toronto misses him.
No, it's over. We liked him. He was a nice
No,
guy.
everyone misses him. They don't regret that trade.
Oh, no.
Not for a second.
Yeah.
We might miss him next year when we don't have anything.
Yeah. Next year we'll miss.
Until
Now,
Kawhi comes back.
this will be-
I am still a firm believer that Kawhi Leonard, if the Raptors make the NBA Finals, Kawhi Leonard returns to the Raptors.
I think-
I'm a firm believer.
I will, and I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. I think Kawhi Leonard's going to look at the city, look at the scene, look at the status of racial harmony or whatever the crap comes to Toronto, and he's going to say,
The melting pot. The
I
word
can-
you're looking for is melting pot.
I can ride this for 5 years.
100%.
I can be God here for the next 5 years in
And
Toronto.
look at the players he's playing with. All these young guys on the come up that are performing very, very well.
He can take off every other back-to-back night if he feels like it and win half of those games.
Oh,
One's saying anything to
He's
this
getting
guy.
pampered right now.
This guy, and he's
you
like,
know what? You cannot blame anybody, though.
No.
The guy
No.
played like 8 games last year.
yeah.
Baby him.
This is what I said. I made this comparison last week, and I don't know if you heard the episode, but I was saying how they're treating Kawhi like you're dating someone out of your league.
Yeah.
They're going through all the stops. They're checking all the boxes, doing everything they can to try and keep this guy here, which I don't blame them at all.
No, and there won't be. When are they going to push this guy? There's zero push right now in this team for this guy because
Is there a reason to?
No,
No.
because they're thinking when the playoffs come, this guy wants to win. He's not on the same level as DeMar DeRozan, where DeMar was like, hey, hopefully I have a good game. This guy's like, I'm going to go out there, drop 30 points, grab 7 rebounds, 2 or 3 assists.
He doesn't even need to drop 30 points.
He doesn't need to, but he would like to do. He likes doing
Sure.
that while shutting the other guy down. That's who he is. And if you have a guy who's targeted like that, everyone falls into place, as we're seeing right now. These guys lost 1 game so far because they couldn't get it done without Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Right? And Milwaukee's a great team.
Well, they
but,
didn't have Giannis.
Yeah. But, scrubs getting scrubs, I guess. What are you going to say?
Scrubs.
They're scrubs 1. But this Raptors team is going to ride this guy. And I think somewhere in the season, Kawhi Leonard is going to say, I'll take max money and I will play here because this is easy. If I don't want to play, I send a text message to the coach in the morning, be like, hey, I'm not playing this game.
Yeah.
They're fine with it, right? I'm going to take all the endorsements. I'm going to take all the love. I'm not going to talk to anybody because when I talk, they make fun of my laugh, which, that was not appropriate, but here we are.
I want to just kind of sidestep the whole Kawhi thing because I feel like we've talked about it a lot already. We talked about DeMar. Next, I want to talk about what's going on with the Wizards, what's going on with the Rockets, because
They're trash.
Before we get off the Raptors, what about Kyle Lowry?
Kyle Lowry's
Playing his
looking
best
great.
basketball of his career.
Serge Ibaka's playing like he's from OKC again. This is what happens when you put a really good player on a team, and
First of all, you have a team that played all summer.
Mm-hmm.
You have a team that's committed to winning now. You got better. A lot of other teams got worse.
Wait till they get their injured players back.
Right? This team got better. They were a top team in the league that got better over the offseason. They're all thinking right now NBA championship.
yeah,
We
because
can't doubt
they shed
that.
away the stuff that was holding them back from winning. DeMar DeRozan and Dwayne Casey.
That's not fair. But
That's 100% fair.
okay. Well, you
That's
just
as accurate as it gets. Right
you just ride that all the way.
Well,
it's so
they
accurate.
had so many chances to do it with those guys, and it didn't work out.
Yep.
And
They weren't
we
even
all asked
close.
them.
They
we
weren't
all-
even close.
in the off season. All we asked for, or at least myself, I was like, get rid of the coach, and if you can make that splash for Kawhi, do it. And they did it, and they didn't give up. I mean, they gave up DeRozan.
They didn't give up much.
But
They
we're
had
also
to give
not.
up DeRozan,
But we're also
which
not
is
talking
fine.
about Danny Green.
Yeah.
Who was everyone thought was a throw-in in that trade, and he's become one of the more important pieces.
Yeah.
To be
Compare that piece to Pearl.
Danny Green.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Danny Green is the win of this trade. We got 2 starters. Let's not
Yeah.
right? We also got an over 40% 3-point shooter, where this team shot a lot of threes and did not make a lot of threes. So we got an elite 3-point shooter who was injured last year, which he said, which is the same reason that Kawhi left the team, because they weren't taking care of guys when they got hurt. So you get a Danny Green who's now healthy. You have Kawhi Leonard for DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen a win like this before in basketball. I'm going to say it like that. Best trade in the last 5 years.
In jubilation.
Yeah.
And they will be in May. Now
Hopefully
we can,
June.
Now we can talk about
Yeah, well, I
the
just-
dysfunctional teams of the NBA.
Yeah, Wizards and there's a lot, but the Wizards and Rockets should be doing work, and they're not.
Dwight Howard might play his first game tomorrow.
And do you think that's going to change the fortunes of the Wizards? Or?
No.
Here's the thing.
Say
what
the
you
fortunes
want.
he's changed before.
Say what you want about Dwight Howard. He's 16 and 12 every game. Okay?
Sure,
The
but
Washington Wizards could use 16 and 12.
They could
Whoever
use a
they
few
have in place of him at center right now is not the same guy.
Gortat?
Now, no, he's not playing. He's not there anymore.
No, where is he?
I don't know where he is. He's not there anymore. Now you have to mesh those guys together. You have to find chemistry, all that stuff. I'm not saying the Wizards will be great, but if Dwight Howard is healthy, they'll be okay. The Houston Rockets, on their hand, they're in trouble. Guys don't want to play there.
The Carmelo effect,
Yeah.
I like to call it.
I would, you know what?
Where losses follow him everywhere.
I love Melo, but this
You
Houston
love
team-
Syracuse Melo. You love Denver Nuggets Melo. You don't love 2018.
No, 2018. Well, he's a bench player. He comes to the bench, does his thing, whatever. He's gonna take shots. It's fine. But Chris Paul doesn't want to play. James Harden doesn't want to play. I don't know what these guys are doing right now. They should have they offered 4 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler.
That's crazy.
So they have
For
a
1 year.
competitive team. Just so they have a team that could compete. No, not for 1 year, because you will pay Jimmy Butler max. When you think about it, you're paying Harden, you pay Butler, right? You get rid of Chris Paul. Chris Paul is the worst waste of money, and I don't think he's a bad player. Don't get me wrong, but that guy's old. He gets hurt. He's just everything about that guy spells you're not going to get it done. Right? In the playoffs last year, you had Golden State down 3-2, and what happens? Pulls his hamstring. He sits out game 6 and 7. We lose. We're done. Every year that guy's hurt. Why are you giving this guy money? It doesn't make sense.
Do you think bringing Jimmy Butler in would rectify it? I think it would just make matters worse.
Yeah, sorry.
That the attitude he carries with him, it's historically known now. You can bash your teammates. He did it in Chicago, doing it in Minnesota. He's kind of like a Boogie Cousins now.
He's a serial loser. That's what he is. Don't get me wrong. Jimmy Butler's been to playoffs 1 time in his career. That year was last year in Minnesota. And then he just took a dump on that whole team. But your future, your team, if you're going to go James Harden, Jimmy Butler, Clint Capella, you're competitive.
But they're not
Until it goes sour and Jimmy Butler turns into a cancer again.
But that offer that they made for Butler is only guaranteed 1 year of Butler.
Yeah, but if they have max money, they'll pay him. All Jimmy Butler wants is max
Where do they have the max money?
You already said they only want to pay him max money.
Not Houston.
Well, wherever he goes. That's why he wanted to go to 3 teams, the lowest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not one of the 3 teams.
Well, I'm guessing Houston can make it work where they can pay him. But if you make that trade, if you trade 4 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler, you're planning to give this guy a contract.
Sure. Maybe
Right?
there's some sort of agreement where they're gonna sign.
they're ready to give this guy a contract. But all I'm saying is that I don't know if anything can save these Houston Rockets
That's
this
a
year.
lot too for him.
Well, if the picks are going to 2025, who cares? At
Well, the
that point.
2021 or 2020, that draft is a double draft year because they're going back to high school players being eligible.
Yeah.
You don't want to give up that draft pick.
No, because LeBron's kid's coming in that draft.
But it's also you're getting 2 You're getting freshmen and you're getting high school seniors.
LeBron's kid's coming in that draft. That's what I'm saying. LeBron's kid, Scottie Pippen's kid, and Kenny Martin's kid are coming in that draft, and they will go to the
Probably
NBA.
Shaq's kid.
I didn't think
Any other kids going in there?
I don't think he's that good.
Maybe John Stockton? I don't know.
Shaq's kid? Shaq's kid was crazy high recruited to Arizona.
Oh,
but he
yeah.
has like he had to like sit out this year. He got hurt, so he has to sit out this year. So I assume he's gonna go back to school because he don't want to hurt his draft.
Oh, so he'll still be in. He'll still be before whatever this draft is.
Well, depending, right? I don't know how serious, like how long it's gonna take him. But he was crazy high recruited.
Yeah, but they're saying 4 years from now. Is the
Shaq's kid looks like Shaq did in college. Like the athleticism is crazy.
LSU.
The NBA's a mess right now. They, to be honest, they should be like, this is the year we're doing it. Because right now they're like all over the place. They're trying to handle the Vegas betting. The NHL just got Vegas betting.
Yeah, MGM.
Quick aside. Good for them.
Yeah, so let's... I mean, like, you got to figure these guys bounce back, right? Like,
No,
no?
Houston's done.
You really think so?
Yeah, Houston's done. Houston's 100%. They're done because James Harden already got his MVP. I don't think he needs to put another MVP season together. I think he's gonna call it a wash. Washington, they suck. I'm not sure I'll say it to you. They got John Wall. They got Bradley Beal. I think one of those guys gets moved this year.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, one of them has to go.
Yeah.
I think John Wall is the one.
Yeah, I think they make a move.
I'm concerned about Houston just because of the teams they have to play on a nightly basis.
That's also true.
They're getting pumped. But the East is just as
so
good.
for them to turn it, but for Houston,
say that.
Such a good team out of Houston.
Don't say that.
Why?
Don't say that the East is just as good because
Why?
it's not.
Outside of Golden State, who are the best teams in the NBA?
Yeah, but like that's
You're going to say
that's
Milwaukee.
They're beating up other teams on the East.
Toronto, and you're going to say Boston. Those are all.
Milwaukee's not a top 4 team, I don't think, in the East.
They're undefeated, so you can't really say that.
Yeah, come on, man. Like,
can
no,
you say
it's
that?
not. They're not going to stay that way.
They're not going to. Oh, obviously, no team goes 81. But I'm saying, right now, they're one of the best teams going. They got a great coach. They got a great system going. They're a good team.
They do have a good coach. That's the one the Raptors wanted, right?
Yeah.
Budenholzer?
Yeah. If you look at the West, outside of Golden State, Houston's gone. Okay, you got Utah. Utah's a good team. Denver looks great.
Denver
right
looks
now.
good.
They look good, but are they better than Toronto and Boston? Are they better than Philly? You don't know. You don't know.
But there's still like there's Portland, there's Minnesota,
Denver
there's
7-1.
Yeah, Denver looks great, man.
Denver looks awesome. I say that, all, but are they going to stay that way?
Memphis is even surprising people.
They're winning games, but they're not good.
New Orleans, I mean, Anthony Davis, I think you're right. He's going to
Oklahoma
be MVP.
City when Westbrook is back to full health.
They're a scary team.
They're still deeper. Don't get me wrong. But I think your elite teams. You still have elite teams in the East this year.
No one's mentioned the Lakers yet because
they're
They're
trash.
not
they
elite.
suck.
Because they're trash. That's why.
I
They're
agree.
trash.
I agree.
But they look like they figured their starting lineup out last night. They got their guy. They got McGee. They got Ball. They got LeBron, obviously. They got Kuzma and Ingram. That's your starting five.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
First game they all started together.
Any other
That's your starting five.
surprises or I mean, I know we're only 2 weeks in here, but anyone else, any players, any teams catching your eye?
You know how this league works. You know your players are right away. The Utah Jazz look good. Not as good as everyone thought, but they look great. They look a great team.
Blake Griffin's kind of having a comeback year here.
Yeah, he's having a good year. But it's all the way in case he has, so he's going to ride that out.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose dropped
ruined him.
50 last night.
Yeah, that's
That was a throwback.
That was beautiful. He cried.
He did.
as he should, man.
And I would have cried too if I was there watching it in person. I'm very sad that I saw it like after on the replays because I'm like, yo, that guy.
All the talent in the world, that guy.
He ran into a lot, and I'm very happy for him. I'll say it like that. I've never.
Yeah, it's one guy I'm not gonna wish ill will about against because unfortunate.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, this is the guy who signed the league veteran minimum last year for $2.5 million to play in Cleveland.
Just to play.
Just to show you how far he's gone from being 2011 MVP.
The MVP.
The MVP in the LeBron era.
Yep. He beat LeBron.
Like look at all the LeBron, Melo, Durant. Everyone was in the league at that point, and he was
creme de la
MVP.
creme.
Yeah,
He was the top.
and then to go down to league minimum to sign with the Cavaliers last year and just have a write off of a year, then come back now with I guess he's got some sort of thing with Thibodeau that he loves him. So
Well,
he's
he
playing out there in
played.
Minnesota.
He's played well in Minnesota. I'm not elite all-star level, but he's been serviceable. So to see him have a game like this, I don't know. I was emotional. I didn't cry, but I was like, shit.
No, it was like a good for him.
Yeah,
it's
good
a
for
good
that
for
guy.
him. You kind of hope that he can string a bunch of. Not obviously, he's not dropping 50 again. But if he starts dropping 10 and 10,
Yeah.
and is becoming a key factor for Minnesota,
Yeah.
and they start winning ball games, then maybe it matters.
To be
Then
honest,
it means something. Then
You should probably start him at the 2 in that team because you got Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague's your guy, but after Jeff Teague, you can start Derrick Rose. Then you can start what's the Canadian kid's name? Wiggins.
He's a bust.
Right? Then you can start.
Remember when the Raptors fans were all like,
Yeah,
he's a
let's
free
sign
agent.
him.
We'll give him max money.
He's not a bust.
Is that how Raptors fans sound?
Yeah, he's just not. He's just not worth $40 million a year. That's all it is. It's not his fault. He doesn't suck. He's just not $40 million.
He's Carmelo, except he doesn't score at that pace.
If you can bring him here for 5 years at $20 million, you do it.
I really hope Rowan Barrett does not go first overall next year.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%. That's
He
a
is.
lock.
He is the
hope
best
he doesn't,
player.
man.
He is
Because
the.
look at all the Canadians have gone first
I know.
overall. They've
but,
stunk.
But this kid is the best player available right now, and
Yeah,
that
that's
kid's
what-
an NBA
That's what
talent.
they said about Wiggins. But
And
listen,
apparently
when they,
Bennett.
well, you know what, the Bennett thing that's insane.
Bennett was a fluke. They shouldn't have done that.
That was insane that they did that. That draft class kind of
Maybe
was
it's
not
just
ideal.
Cavaliers taking
But
Canadians.
if you look,
Although they might have the first pick next
They
year.
will have the first.
with Wiggins, when he was going number one, his only competition to go number one was Jabari Parker. And like a Parker.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Who would you rather have?
He he's the best player in that draft. That was not a good draft.
Which one was that? 2014? Let's
Yeah.
bring it up.
Barrett. I think Barrett's the real deal.
Barrett is
He's
the
at
real
he's
deal.
at Duke destroying.
Here's the thing, though. Barrett might not even be the best player on his own team.
Yeah. The number 2 picks is also coming from there. But I don't know, man.
So is Kentucky a must-watch team?
They're Duke.
Duke, sorry.
They're the number 1 team. They'll be number 1 all year.
And then they'll choke in March because a team of freshmen don't do in March.
No.
Oh, there it is. The first swear.
You've ruined everything I've worked so hard for.
Facts. You know what? This is part of the hijack, all right? Embrace it.
hijack.
Embrace it.
together.
Part of season 3, I'm also going to pitch for explicit language.
You know what? Like, enough of this not keeping it. Like, keep the damn show authentic already, okay?
Nash, you hearing this?
If the team's doo doo, I'm gonna call them doo doo, but I'm not gonna use the word doo doo.
I'm gonna use the word for doo-doo. It's going to be like Nash.
Joel Embiid was in
Yeah,
the
only two All-Stars were taken in this draft.
Joel Embiid was in that draft?
yeah.
That's okay then.
Sorry, one All-Star.
Yeah. Well, if the Cavs drafted Joel Embiid,
Yeah, what?
They'd probably be in a different place.
yeah,
This was a bad year.
it was not a good draft. I will say that, like, you did the best you can.
Like, there's a lot of busts here.
Yeah, you did the best you can, Cavs. And I get it.
Julius Randle.
Yeah. Well, Julius Randle's
Nick
okay.
Stauskas.
I like Stauskas too. They're serviceable. They're not stars,
No.
which we have to get
A lot
away
of
from.
Canadians in that draft, too.
Yeah, the draft has
That was
one
the
or
year we
two
thought
stars.
We were like
We thought we made it. We're like, yes,
Canadians,
Canada,
yeah.
finally.
Stauskas, Wiggins, Ennis. Smythe.
Doug McBuckets was in that
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's still doing all right. Nothing wrong with him. Smythe, top 5 time.
It's okay. I know when we do top 5, we always try to outdo each other, do the best top 5s. I think this is the time. I think I'm going to do the best top 5 that's ever been a top 5 in the history of top 5s.
Well,
So
give it to us.
my top 5 this week is the top 5 indie bands
Oh man,
to listen to if you want to understand what indie rock is about.
how
Okay.
is this the top? How is this gonna be top?
I don't know. It's great. Now, it's going to be top because I've created a playlist on Spotify. If you search the Team Podcast.
Oh, look at this!
Right?
Wow, he's tying it
There
in.
you go. Now you have songs from all of these bands. So you can take a listen. You can actually get a feel of what indie rock is supposed to be.
They don't have swear words.
No swear words in the song.
You've listened to every song? and
there's-
gone through every single lyric of the song, and there's not one swear
No,
word?
there's definitely swear words.
Okay, so that's acceptable.
Right, yeah.
Because it's authentic.
Yeah, and you
okay.
can't play the songs on the air. It makes sense.
Just clarifying.
I also basically I was gonna put like 5 songs every band, but I just ended up throwing in more. So if you guys go on Spotify and type in the Team Podcast, you're gonna see the Team Podcast top 5, and it's to say indie songs to get what indie songs are, and then you guys can listen to that playlist and you guys can just hear what I've created. So that's a great aside.
Sure.
So I have 2 honorable mentions. I'm sorry, it's just the way this
Top
thing
7.
goes. Yeah. Anyway, so honorable mention number 1 is the Beaches. The Beaches are a Toronto band, all girl band. Have you heard the
Let
song?
me guess, they're from the beaches.
Yeah, no. Have you heard the song "Money" or "T-Shirt"?
Dude,
Can't
I
say I
listen
have.
to country music.
Oh my god.
You're gonna razz me as you're about to
Yes, I get to
indulge
razz
me
you.
in Toronto's latest Hello Kitty indie rock band.
No. The Beaches they're legit. They're fantastic.
Not
the
legit enough to make top 5.
Like the
Yeah.
Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah, they're not like that at all. They're an actual band. They're very good. Listen to T-Shirt. That's number 1. Number 2 is Money. You guys got to play those 2 songs. If anything else from them, you'll get a feel of what they are. You get a feel of what indie is. My second band that didn't make the list, but they're great. Foster the People. You guys know who Foster People are?
Yeah.
Pumped
They're
Up
indie?
Kicks. Yeah, they're indie. Here's what I consider indie, like songs that are rock, but they're not going to make your top Billboard list. They're not going to be top list.
Well, they did.
They're independent. Pumped Up Kicks did. Don't get me wrong, but they've had 3 albums. Okay, the other 2 albums you've never heard anything
This
from
feels
before.
like such a loophole that you're putting in your top 5 now.
I'm just
go with it.
throwing in popular,
Go with
the
it.
best bands of all time. Okay, number 5, Metric. Metric, another band, Canadian band. Have you heard of them before?
Of course not.
Are you
have.
serious?
I listen to country music.
Oh my god, you're not part of the segment. Anyway,
I don't want to be part of this segment.
Metric, fantastic band.
See, this segment is supposed to convince him to be a part of this.
Exactly, right? So you're going to listen to Help I'm Alive. Nothing.
No guy.
Oh my god. No
Keep going,
dice.
man. Keep going. This is
Yeah,
your top
yeah.
5. Embrace it, bud.
Yeah,
No
keep
dice.
pitching me.
No
keep pitching
dice.
me.
Let me give you a couple more songs in here. I want you to write them
You
down.
keep
'cause I
throwing
want
it
you-
out
you
there,
Gotta,
maybe
you
I'll
gotta
catch
go in.
something.
You
Nope.
gotta go in and listen to them. That's their whole this is the whole play right now. So
Just give us the list.
no, I'm going deeper.
Have you reached out to any of these local bands?
I've reached out to all those, but they're not local. Jesus, Metric is huge.
You said local.
No,
I
well
said
they're
indie.
Canadian.
Some-
That's
oh,
okay. They're
oh.
Canadian. Okay,
That's
so
kinda
number
low.
4, not Canadian. We got Queens of the Stone Age.
They're not indie.
They're indie.
Oh my god.
They don't hit the top 5. They're not like top of your Billboard
This list
charts.
is an asterisk beside it.
No, they're a band. They're a band, and if they come out, it's underground, like the way you used to. Never hit top
You
of the
want to know how I
Billboards.
know this one ain't indie? Because I've heard of it.
They don't
Busted.
do. No, when they come, they don't do the ACC. They're not that big of a band.
Not enough people.
Lots
go
of
there.
artists don't do the ACC.
Not
It
the
doesn't
big
make
bands.
them indie.
Yes, it does.
Anyways, keep going.
If you're not playing the big places, you
Keep
don't get
going.
to be indie. Okay. Silver Sun Pickups.
Yeah, I
Number
know there
3.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, number 3. Fantastic band.
Panic
4 albums
Switch.
deep. Everything's good. You can play those guys forever. They're very deep. I like their music. A little emo. Good stuff. Heard of them?
No.
You're the worst. Bro, you suck. Number
No,
2.
I've heard of the non-indie band that you put on the indie band list.
Number 2. Tokyo Police Club. Underrated.
That's a clothing company. Is
Yeah,
it not?
fantastic.
Canadian.
Fantastic band. They're like
I
love
honestly
them.
believe that was a clothing brand.
Tokyo Police Club.
It just sounds like
It just sounds like oh my god. You gotta play it. Anyway, great band. Number 1.
The Beatles.
It's close though.
Oh, man.
Radiohead.
They're not indie.
They're indie.
They play at the ACC.
They do. They're big enough. But
so they're big enough.
now, when the Radiohead releases a record, how many times do you hear them on the radio?
You don't have to though.
Exactly.
So
you don't have
this is
to. It's not their
this
fault.
top 5 is brought to you by Balco.
Yeah. Right?
I'm doing a protest on this list.
Radiohead's potentially the greatest band in the world that you ever heard of before, or you haven't heard their music. You check them out.
Dude, I've heard of them, so they aren't indie.
I know you've heard of them, but it doesn't mean they're indie. It means that like they're not charting. They're not on the radio every day. When you hear their singles, they're all different. Their evolution in music is on another level. They are perhaps the greatest band in the world.
Next week, I want a top 5 country artists.
No, we're not. We're never doing that.
Why? Why are you discriminating?
Because we just don't like country like that.
I thought that we are all open on.
It's going to be
the
Garth Brooks,
podcast.
Garth Brooks, Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks should make a top 5. He's a legend.
He is a legend, but he is Garth Brooks. Who's the guy that sings Red Solo Cup? Because that's my number one.
Keith.
Toby Keith is number one for me. That's the top.
I bet you I could get you like 2, maybe 3 country artists, and you would easily bump out your little indie fun boy bands.
No way.
And you'd be like, this is legit.
Difeo, you're going to go through my playlist one time, and you're going to be like, I get it.
No guy.
I get it.
I get it. That's it. If you want to get indie rock music, you're going to put that playlist on.
I wish we were on
and
camera
run it all
right
the way
now,
through.
so the people listening could just look at my face as I'm trying to.
Difeo, you're going to get it. I need you to. You're going to run through the playlist one time.
Next week, do country.
All right. Next week, someone will do country.
You'll do country. I will listen to your playlist if your top 5 next week is country artists that you've recently discovered in the next 7 days.
Toby Keith, Garth Brooks,
All
Taylor Swift.
She's not country. She's as country as Radiohead is indie.
Radiohead is very indie.
They're not, man.
Let's start with that. They're very indie.
No, I'll kick some artists your way. You give a couple samples to it, and then you compile your top 5.
We'll make a country rock, playlist for you.
Indie
next
country.
Indie country. Ooh.
Okay. We got 2 more subjects here. Let's go to NHL. Not much to say, but Leafs lost Austin Matthews for 4 weeks at least to another shoulder injury.
Yep.
Exact same injury that he hit last year,
Yep.
but the other arm.
Yep.
Is Austin Matthews now becoming Mr. Glass? Should we worry about this?
Yep.
I guess that answers that. Then.
I
Okay,
said
next subject. No.
I said at the start of the year. What did I say? He might be the guy to go.
Okay,
But part of the reason
he's not
why,
going anywhere.
But here's part of the reason why he never plays 82 games.
Well, this is his 3rd year
of not playing 82 games. He takes 20 games off.
McDavid hasn't played 82 games in his first 2 years.
Okay, but he played what? 79, 81.
No, he missed like 5 weeks in his first year.
Austin
he
Matthews,
missed like 8 weeks in his first year. Broke his collarbone.
Right. He broke his
in
collarbone.
a freak accident.
Right. Austin Matthews
not
misses
taking a little bump.
20 games every year.
No, dude, he doesn't miss 20 games every year. He
That's
missed 20
dope.
games last year.
And the year before that.
No, he didn't miss 20 games.
And he'll miss 20 games this year. Anyway, my point is that he's a good player, but you're not getting him the whole time.
He's a great player.
If you're going to move a guy for some solid defense, he's the guy that's going to get you the most traction, and he's the guy that's going to hurt your team the least.
Okay, before we delve any further into this topic, Austin Matthews is not going anywhere. There's no way he's going anywhere.
I get it.
If he was going somewhere, then Will and Nylander would have already been signed by now.
Yes.
Because it'd be like, well, if we're not going to sign Matthews, then like let's just
remember
throw the
Kyle
money over.
Dubas is 3 years younger than me, sitting down like, what am I supposed to do about this?
No, I'm sure he knows what he's
gonna
doing.
Pull the trigger.
I was talking about the guy who signed John Tavares. Like,
John Tavares is like, I really like to play in Toronto. What can you do for me? And then he figured it out.
I'll take a pay cut, sure, thanks.
Yeah,
but Matthews not going to go anywhere. My concern is are these freak accidents, like you're saying with McDavid, or are these just signs of a guy who's just injury prone? He's the next Eric Lindros. Cam
He gets
Neely.
hurt every year. There's no question about that aspect of it. That's got to mean something, right? We've never seen.
It's so weird though. In this day and age, NHL where hitting is like so rare, right? Like
yes, that's why it's a problem. Right, Lindros was playing in an age where people were trying to kill him.
Yes,
and he was
trying to kill people too.
Exactly. I get it. You're gonna have a lot of concussions if you play that kind of hockey, right? Look at Crosby. Crosby gets hit 5 times a year. Concussion, sat out for 2 years.
Who is that?
That's broken.
It's not Kiddo.
I don't know. I feel like some players aren't as durable as others. I think Austin Matthews is a guy that consistently gets hurt.
I wouldn't say consistently. I would say he gets hurt once a year, and when he does get hurt, he misses significant time.
Yeah.
Now, come June, July, August, he's going to want McDavid money. Is he now worth McDavid money? Probably not. He's not McDavid. Despite what the people in Toronto will say.
No one should make McDavid money because McDavid's the best player in the league. But every year the cap goes up and salaries adjust.
Money becomes available.
Not necessarily that money comes available, but like times change, right? Like what McDavid signed for 2 years ago is not what the best player in the NHL is going to sign for, 2 years from now.
McDavid will always be the best player in the
NHL.
NHL.
I agree, but that is not his. What he makes is not the benchmark for what people should be making 2 years after he's made that deal.
Is
right?
there anybody in the league that should be making more than he makes?
No, but circumstantial will.
Well, I mean, Sidney Crosby makes
work.
$8.7 million a year
I'm
right
not
now.
saying he's not underpaid,
But
you
when he
pay him
signed
more-
it, but when he signed that deal,
it was a very lucrative deal.
yes,
correct.
exactly.
Yes.
When Taves and Kane signed their deal for $10 million each year, like it was lucrative. But now you look at it and you're like, it's I mean, they're not
okay.
the players they were before, but like it's just the way the salary cap works in this league, right? Like it keeps going up, salaries getting changed.
But
Should he be the highest player in the league? No.
But
should he be top
he's due-
five? Yes.
He's due a contract this summer.
Yes.
Does he get McDavid money?
No.
He wants McDavid money.
But the problem is
you
that,
know he wants McDavid
yeah,
money.
but they can't sign everyone to the money they want. We're watching this with Nylander right now. What you would like to get, it's not available if you want to play on this team. And some players are going to decide that playing on this team is not worth it. They'd rather take the money. Is Austin Matthews, is he that guy? Austin.
They will sign him, but he's not getting a bridge contract, obviously.
No.
He's going to get a long-term deal.
No one's-
Leafs will give it to him.
Well,
How
Marner,
much it is, we don't
Marner
know.
wants a contract this year, too.
Marner is
He's going to come off a 90-point season. So
we don't know that because they're not scoring right now.
right now, don't worry. He's going to come off the best season of his career. And he's
Is
going to
he?
want money. Yeah, he is.
It's quiet right now. Everyone's quiet right now on this team. They lost again tonight,
I didn't see that.
so that's 2 straight games they've lost where they've only
no.
scored 1 goal.
They've lost 2 games in a row. This
They
is
haven't
horrible.
scored a goal in the first and second period at home in the last 3 games. There's a lot of flags here. A lot of what's going on. After such a hot start, obviously that wasn't going to be maintained. And then you lose Matthews, arguably the best player on the team. Is it like, do we panic?
I don't think we panic because the season's long, and as long as you get
Yeah.
in the playoffs, you're fine. And if you get in the playoffs, you got to beat Boston, you got to beat Tampa.
Yeah.
So
Which
it
I
doesn't
don't think
matter.
they can right now.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter even if you're number one, you're playing both those teams, so who cares? But I think they're not as good as we thought they were. If one player turns them
It's
into
any sport. You look at the start they had, and you knew they were going to keep it up. You look at now and how bad they've been, you know that can't be the way. So they got to find middle ground, right?
So they'll be in between that.
I still think, I don't know, man. Like, can they beat 105 points that they did last year? Because that's where they were last year. They should, but
they could.
Well, if Matthews comes back healthy and
But-
they go back to being great, then
Their defense.
you won't know that until Christmas.
Their
Exactly.
defense still no bueno.
It's not that bad
but
though.
Pittsburgh's
Like,
the same way.
No.
if
bueno.
you look at the games they've played the last couple of weeks, their defense has been fine. Anderson's been great. Like,
again, think past 82 games.
Yeah.
And into crunch time. 'Cause you know they're going to the playoffs. That's
Yeah.
inevitable. Start thinking crunch time. They're in like the Raptors position where whatever you do for 82 games, that's
Yeah.
great. It's playoff time.
But here's the thing: in the playoffs, they haven't gotten out of the first round in the last how many years?
well, I mean, the first 2 years ago when they played Washington, that was kind of like a surprise year. No one expected them to do that well, and they gave them a good shot. They didn't win the series, obviously. Last year, everyone thought they'd make the playoffs, but they were playing a team that was much better than them, right? Like Boston and Tampa are the
Does that change this year?
the reason they got Tavares
Was
was
change
to
that.
change that, yeah.
Right? But realistically,
But looking at them right now,
yeah, it's
I
just
don't
nothing
see it being
changes.
changed. Yeah.
So they're gonna get to the playoffs. First round, they're gone again, and what do
that
you
would
want
be
from
that
them?
would be a disappointment of a year if they do not improve on last year's.
If you name the top 5 teams in the league, are Tampa and Boston in there?
Yeah,
So then, does it realistically make sense for the Leafs to advance past the first round?
they should.
Yes.
No, because they got to be one of those 2 teams.
Well, they
Not in
wanted-
the first round.
They could finish first and not play any of those teams.
They could finish first, But
and
what's
play
the
someone
chance
like
of them finishing above those teams?
Well, that's
It's
what the
low.
that's what the goal was, right?
Right.
To win the conference.
The concept is though is that like if you're not better than those teams and those teams are going to beat you anyways, you got to play one of them.
But that's why they went out and made the moves they did, right?
They just one move. How much moves did they make?
Well, I mean, they got
They
a top 10
they
player.
won free agent. I understand that.
Yeah.
They won free agency, but after that,
Yeah.
did you shore up your defense?
Well, they also have a lot of guys underperforming too, right?
Yeah.
Like guys they thought would step up.
Well, they have time. There's a lot of time. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
I mean,
game.
we're in November here.
Yeah.
We just, I don't know. Okay, let's finish it off. We got a UFC this weekend, which I thought was going to be big. Turns out it's not going to be that big. The card, the early card when they were like drawing it up in like August and September, like it was going to be huge. Now I'm kind of disappointed in this card. I think there's going to be a lot of good undercard fights and a lot of decent main event fights. But the headliner is Derek Lewis versus Daniel Cormier, which I think is one of the most one-sided championship fights we're ever going to see. Because, first of all, I don't really think it's fair.
Is this Cormier's second last fight? After this, he has one big money fight and he's done? Is that what he said?
I mean...
And he's going to wrestling, because that's where he's going.
No, I don't know about that.
100%. That's where he's going. That's where 4-year-olds go. Let's be honest. That's where he's going.
I think the dream is to have him fight Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, which he won't do.
No, I think he will.
He's going to fight Bones.
He won't fight Bones.
I feel like those were his last two fights. Would be beat Lesnar and then fight Bones.
The only way he fights Bones is at heavyweight.
Yeah, maybe.
He ain't fight.
I think he's done at light heavyweight.
I think he realizes he's not as good at 205.
Yeah.
He cuts. I think he cuts too much weight.
Even though he has the title.
Yeah.
But that's a sign
Like,
of what the
who
light
did
heavyweight.
he beat to get the title? Did he beat the creme de la creme to get the title?
So yeah, the heavyweight title fight is this weekend. Derek Lewis just fought a 3-round fight less than a month ago, and he's getting thrown into this title fight.
In all fairness, Cormier is literally just coming off a broken hand from his last fight.
Yeah,
because he had to get it surgically repaired.
But that was in July.
But he had to get his hand surgically repaired because he broke it
5 months ago. I think this fight's
you
just
can't do it. That's a couple months of not training.
I think
then you got to rehab it.
Yeah, I think this guy's taking the fall just to make sure we know Corby's the top guy.
Well, they scrambled for a main event fight after what Poirier versus Diaz
failed out.
Didn't work out.
Poirier got hurt.
Yeah, and
my question is, why was the rematch with Stipe not just made?
I haven't heard from Stipe since he lost.
But is there not a man more deserving of a rematch than him?
I think what they're doing here is they're in New York, or it's the Madison Square Garden one, right?
It's either that or
it's Madison Square Garden.
where the Brooklyn Nets plays.
No, that's April. So it's in Madison Square Garden, and so they got to have a big fight.
You need
right?
a big guy.
No, absolutely.
And I mean, you're not going to top the last 2 years of Madison Square Garden, which were two great cards. This one, they were just like, what can we do for a title fight? And they were like, Derek Lewis is hot right now. He's a funny dude
he is hilarious.
He's very funny, but like, I know there's a puncher's chance, but like, I can't see this. Like, I can't see him winning.
And if he does win, what does that ruin for the future of USC? He can't win. Wait, I almost would say it's fixed where he's gonna get knocked out.
It's not fixed, but it's fixed to a point where the odds are stupid. It's like minus 900 for Daniel Cormier.
But you need Cormier Lesnar,
it's actually
or you
down
need Cormier
to minus
Bones.
700.
Oh, okay. It opened up at minus 13.
Yeah,
which is insane.
I mean, everybody has a puncher's chance, right?
Well, now, of all people,
especially in the heavyweight division.
Yeah. Is your final goal Lesnar and Bones? Is that your big
That's not a
payoff
fair
fight?
Like, Jones would kill him.
Is that your payoff fight though? You need to have it like
Cormier versus Lesnar or Cormier versus Jones are bigger fights than Lesnar versus Jones. I think
Cormier's gonna fight and retire, and then Lesnar Jones is your money fight. That's what I think.
There's no way there's no Cormier Lesnar fight after what happened in July.
What
after DC beat Stipe and Lesnar came into the ring? There's
so
no
what
way
if you
that
go
fight does
Cormier
not happen.
Lesnar, Cormier retires, Lesnar Jones.
I don't know. Depends. If Cormier beats Lesnar, then he'll probably fight Bones one last time.
Well,
that's my guess.
Or he might retire.
Yeah, I think he's got 2 more fights in after this. There's no way he does not fight Bones one more time.
I feel like he doesn't. Well,
He has to. It's the only
fight
guy
that-
you can't beat. It's the
If
only
you
guy he
fight
hasn't
that
beat.
and you lose,
then he'll be like, yeah, like I can't beat him.
if he goes,
But if he beats him, he's
but
like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I've
but
done it all.
that's pride. He doesn't want pride. He wants money. If he beats
I
Lesnar,
don't think Cormier wants money.
I think he's gonna beat
everyone wants
Lesnar,
money, but
and he's gonna go to wrestling. That's what I think is gonna happen.
maybe not everyone's Ronda Rousey.
He's already tried out. He knows he wants in.
Tried out.
He's tried out.
Try out.
It wouldn't surprise me for him to make a move like that, only because of his age.
Yeah,
Sure.
you can do that into
Not
your
like
50s.
when Rousey did it.
Because
She's got nothing else to
she
do.
can't get
Yeah.
back in the octagon.
Right. If Cormier made a move like that, it wouldn't shock me. Surely
sure.
based on his age.
But I don't think it would be a full time thing. It'd be like
They
a
don't
Lesnar
wrestle
thing.
full time. They wrestle 4 times a year. Who cares? $2 million a fight.
Yeah.
It's fake. It's great.
Yeah. No,
You know,
I could see it happening.
It's possible.
Defeo's our resident UFC expert here, along with myself. What else
you
on
trying
this
to say?
card
What are you trying to
is
say?
going to make people buy it? The co-main event is Wyman versus Jakar. Yeah.
Not a bad fight.
No, but I mean,
Brunson Adonijay.
yeah, that'll start off the main event or
for
the main
me
card.
is- yeah.
That might be the best fight of the night right there.
Yeah.
But other than that, like for a New York card,
Yeah.
considering what we had the last 2 years, we had 3 title fights last year
Yeah.
and the year before.
It's not as good as
I think the Toronto card looks better than this.
I'm very excited for the Toronto card.
Are we going to that?
I'm gonna go.
I'm very excited for the Toronto card.
Trying to say I'm not invited? Is that...
Well, I'll probably get tickets from work. One of my 2 tickets I asked for the year. That and Beer Fest tickets. Yeah, see, it's kind of hard to like sell this one. A lot of people aren't excited for it, and you're coming off the biggest pay per view of the year, which was a wash.
and the New Year's card
Right.
looks significantly better than this card as well.
Yeah, the two cards in December look better than this.
It's like not even close. I mean, the New Year's card alone, like the New Year's card to me is
We got Cyborg versus Nunez.
and Jones Gustafson.
Jones? Is he coming back for that?
Yeah.
I thought it was Johnson.
Which Johnson?
Anthony.
No. It's Jones Gustafson.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
2 title fights, New Year's Eve, or
New Year's weekend.
New Year's weekend.
And then Toronto, we
December.
got Ortega versus Holloway and Joanna versus Shevchenko, right?
Yeah.
Which are 2 big fights.
Yeah.
And this one really only has maybe 1 big fight,
Maybe.
which I don't think is going to be that great of a fight. But who knows, man? Derek, the Beast, might pull something out of his sleeve like he did last fight, which was exciting to see. But Smythe, as like a on the fence UFC guy, you're probably not watching this, right?
I'm probably gonna watch it.
Really?
Yeah,
Or are you going to watch it?
I'm probably gonna watch it at a bar, or I'm gonna buy it at home.
But you're going to might buy it. Wow.
Might buy it.
Stream it.
Yeah, whatever. However that works.
I'm going to be at a wedding, so I don't know if I can duck out for
Oh
this.
no!
I don't think you're gonna miss much
Yeah.
after that first fight.
Yeah, you're right. I won't be seeing that one for sure.
But after that one, I don't know.
No,
It ain't worth $60. If you're gonna buy
I
it,
agree.
it ain't worth it.
And that's why you put Lewis versus Cormier in there, is to try and get people to buy
Try to
it.
get buys in. But like, if you go to a bar to watch, you're gonna spend more than $60.
Depends on how thirsty
UFC's
you
on
are.
from 8 o'clock till 1, at least until
No
1.
one goes to the bar for the prelims. You can watch those on cable at
So you're
home.
gonna catch them at what 11?
Leave at like 9, maybe 9:30.
9:30. That's crazy.
Like, again, literally, after the first fight at 10,
It's gonna be trash all the way through.
I'm not overly excited. But what is exciting is the first trade
right.
in MMA history.
Did you hear about this, Mike?
No.
Break it
Mighty
down.
Mouse has been traded from the UFC to ONE FC.
How does that even happen?
So basically,
Talk me through the logistics of this trade.
so Mighty
I didn't
Mouse-
understand this either.
Mighty Mouse gets traded essentially for Ben Askren.
Undefeated.
Ben Askren's an undefeated welterweight. He's basically the American Habib.
Right.
I believe he could be better than Khabib at MMA grappling. He embarrasses people. So what happens is they both just get released from their contracts so that they can switch organizations.
That's bonkers.
Yeah, Difeo told me, I was like, I think I said
like,
like
what
3
is
times because I couldn't understand. Like I didn't know you could trade properties like that.
Nothing had ever
Been done like that.
Nothing,
Now,
yeah.
Also,
do they
like-
have to sign with the other organization? Is that a must?
That must be the deal.
It must be the deal.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
what it
believe
trade.
that Ben Askren is officially signed because he's called out everyone under the sun.
I think I saw that on Twitter.
Everyone. He's called out He even challenged the Diaz brothers to a handicap match. Where one of them fights rounds 1, 3, 5, and the other one fights rounds 2 and 4.
Wow.
Yeah, this is crazy because not only is it a trade happening within
That's bonkers.
MMA, but like Mighty Mouse is 1 fight removed from being the pound for pound best fighter in UFC history.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well,
Yeah,
you lost to Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
And he tore his ACL in that fight.
So he's not going to be around for a while.
Yeah, so it was,
But I mean, like he arguably could have won that fight.
Yeah.
But he tore his ACL early in the fight, and then wasn't the same. You could see he wasn't the same.
and he probably won't be the same after that.
No.
No, the ACL is not like it used to be. Guys come back from torn ACLs 6 months.
Yeah.
They don't do it how they don't take the
Piece of
ligament
your
from
soul,
your hip,
put
and
it in your
They
knee.
literally just reattach it. They put it back together. They don't take other parts
Yeah.
and put it in to make a new ACL. They literally just put it back together, and that's how they're getting them back in 6 months. A guy, I think, an American guy in the Olympics, tore his ACL in the trials 6 months before the Olympics,
Jeez.
but he qualified.
Yeah.
So they had him back wrestling at the Olympics
That's
6 months later.
crazy. Did he
So
win?
it's not the same.
Yeah.
Did he win a gold medal?
No.
Okay. He was trash, but he wrestled.
I'm just saying, like,
It was still wrecked.
It's 6 months.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's not the same as it used to be. It's not a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's crazy.
I'm excited, man. And I think this was done specifically because Dana White's done with Habib, and he needs the great American hero.
Yeah, he needs a new hype.
G.I. Joe
Yeah.
to come
Really?
and take
Isn't
him
that
out.
Colby Covington?
No. I think Habib would beat Colby Covington.
Yeah. What about Askren?
I think Askren wrecks Habib.
Are they going to fight?
That could be a fight.
I
Khabib
think they
could go to welterweight.
Habib would have to move up, but I think in one of the 50 Ben Askren callouts, he said
he
he said Habib, meet me at 165.
Yeah.
So
I don't like UFC. I don't like all these weight class fights. Remember UFC 1?
That's different, man.
UFC 1 was the greatest spectacle in the history
it's
of
not.
things.
No,
Yes, it was.
wasn't,
Yes,
man. It was like dudes from a bar fighting
It was
each
the
other.
best
Like,
thing I've ever seen in my life. That's what Ultimate Fighting actually is. 8 guys. I don't care where you come from.
this isn't
You get in a
ultimate
ring,
fighting. This is mixed martial
Yes.
arts.
It's
Yes,
evolved.
exactly.
It's evolved.
So
That's why we
UFC
have like 12 different titles now.
but it's no
like-
longer the Ultimate Fighting
And women.
Championship.
Like, we've come a long way now.
Hey, women could have fought in the UFC, the original UFC.
Yeah, but like, I'm just saying, like, it's different now, right? There's
That's
a reason
all-
why this
all
weight
I'm
class
saying is the original came out, and I paid to watch that. I paid to watch 8 guys that thought they were the best fighters, and they fought.
I'll tell you this: I will pay to watch Habib and Ben Askren.
It's good.
Well, we paid to watch.
It would literally
Khabib
be
versus
25.
McGregor.
It would literally be 25 minutes of who could take who down.
Yeah.
Like there would be no thrill of the puncher's chance.
No, it would be macho.
It would just be wrestler versus wrestler, but I'd pay to see it.
So before we finish up, we're talking UFC. Where do you guys think? What do you think happens with McGregor? Like, do you think he's done? Do you think he's? I mean, when I say done, I mean like, obviously he's still McGregor. He's marketable. He's any fight he's in, he's gonna sell. But like, do you think like from a competitive standpoint, we've seen the best of him years ago?
Yeah, his days are done.
Yeah, when his heart was still in it. and
Yeah.
it wasn't about side hustle
Or the money.
and
He reached his peak when he beat Eddie Alvarez, I think.
the Mayweather thing changed him forever.
Sure.
I think his next fight should be Anthony Pettis. Both coming off the loss, both your strikers.
I don't know, man. I feel like now if he's going to fight, it's got to be someone with a name.
I think,
But why?
Not that Anthony Pettis isn't a big name.
He had a name.
He just had a great fight, too. Like, that was one of the better fights of the year.
He had a name, and he got shelled.
Yeah.
I think McGregor's
he
got
didn't
to
fight for 2 years, took the biggest name he could get, and got shelled.
Oh, he got destroyed.
He needs an MMA fight. He needs to get his feet wet. He needs an MMA fight to get his feet wet, and a Pettis would offer him that striking matchup to see. And I think what if he loses? What if he gets outstruck by Anthony Pettis?
Pettis looked pretty good. I mean,
Right?
Ferguson looked great, but like Pettis looked pretty good against Ferguson.
Pettis had him rocked.
Yeah.
Pettis had him rocked.
I think McGregor's got to choose fights that he can win.
I don't
like
think he has
Mayweather.
to. I think
Just like Mayweather.
I understand.
But it's different.
I
It's
understand what
different.
Difeo is saying is from a competitive standpoint to fight someone who you can like fight with, or do you go the route that you're saying is he's just looking for the most money, which I think is where his head's at now.
but I think he...
Then there's only one fight for him because no one's going to want to see him fight Habib again.
Maybe
No.
Diaz
It would be Diaz.
for the third time.
I think... Why doesn't he just fight random scrubs? Like, it's going to sell.
There's no-
It's
Yeah,
going
but
to sell.
like it's
not like a name.
You need to.
If Conor McGregor boxed some scrub boxer, he wasn't making $100 million.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
had
but-
to fight the best.
But what if Conor fights
But
three...
people now know what happens when he fights the best.
Exactly. So if he fights 3 generic fights against, I don't know, regular guys,
not gonna
up-and-comers,
happen.
whatever...
It's not going to happen.
It's still going to draw.
Nah.
Because also you have to look at UFC.
Not draw
UFC's also be like, well, you're going to throw a scrub in here. That guy has to get paid too. It's not like McGregor getting $13 million and the scrub's getting $500,000.
So the scrub makes the best paydays of his life. Who cares?
That's not how it works, though.
not how
But
it
like,
works.
but then you build him up to fight that big fight again. Like McGregor's back, he's knocked out XYZ. Now he's gonna fight this big name guy again. Because let's
see,
face
you're
it,
thinking about it like that's what Mayweather did, but Mayweather picked names.
no, wow.
What do you mean?
Wow.
Who didn't he beat?
His last. But okay, first
Go
of all,
ahead. I've
let's start
seen
with-
them all. I've
let's
seen
start
all
with
50.
Let's start with McGregor. Scrub, never
That-
boxed a fight in his life.
The McGregor thing was
a spectacle.
It was a spectacle.
Before that, he
That
fought.
was when Rocky fought Hulk Hogan.
Exactly. Before that, he fought. Way past his prime.
No, fought a guy a
Pacquiao.
lot younger. than him.
Pacquiao, way past his
That
prime.
was about 3 fights earlier.
What? His last fight?
His
That was
49th
4
fight-
years ago.
His 49th fight was not Pacquiao.
Who's 49th fight?
Wasn't it?
Exactly. We don't know who he is. My point, case in point being,
No,
is
I know who he is.
he chooses his fights, and they're not the top dogs in boxing.
So like when he beat the shit out of Canelo.
He-
You can't.
Like, you know what?
Well, he
But
did.
We're also talking about boxing. We're talking about MMA.
Because he
there's
absolutely
not as much money in MMA.
mollywopped Canelo.
That was an impressive fight.
Mollywopped him. And now Canelo's the biggest name in boxing. So
I'm not saying he's not skilled. All I'm saying is that
Adrian Broner, that was 49.
Yeah, not the biggest fight.
he's not fighting the most elite fighters every single time.
But like,
so McGregor went from fighting Mayweather in boxing, which
Oh,
is not
sorry,
a sport,
Andre Berto was 49.
and then he switched to fighting probably the best UFC fighter in the game, pound for pound right now. Maybe that's too much for him. Maybe he's got to step down a bit, get a couple wins under his belt, and then have that.
but I
big
don't
money
think
fight
that
again.
that's
not his thing.
I don't think he's in it for the long run that much.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, he's almost 30. He's made his money.
Almost 30.
No, but like he's made his money,
I know,
right? He's
but
never going to make
his
as much
time's
money
done.
as he
He's
has
30.
already.
Yeah.
Especially after that loss he just had. He's never going to make as much money.
Yeah.
So like now you're just doing like the Chael Sonnen like victory lap where you just like talk crap and you fight someone who else is a name, and you know next thing you know he's gonna be on Bellator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, anyways, I think that's gonna wrap it up. Smythe, why don't you tell people where they can find the Team Podcast?
You can find the Team Podcast on, first of all, Spotify.
It's doing
Google
wonders
Play.
for us.
Right? Spotify's
How were the numbers for last week?
Spotify's great. Last week was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apple Music, you can also find us on Apple Podcasts. Obviously, we're there as well. And then our favorite social sites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my personal favorite, Tumblr.
Difeo, you want to plug anything before we head out here?
Yeah, I want to continue to hijack this.
Yeah, go for it.
Horseplay is scheduled to return next Monday.
Before you finish this, remember last time you were on the show and you declared Horseplay was dead? You buried it.
I did
under
bury it.
6 feet in the ground, and you put a tombstone on it.
And look how much it motivated Wells.
Listen to you now.
Look, it didn't motivate me anymore. I knew it was coming back.
No,
I knew it was coming back.
It motivated him.
I don't know. He said
it was motivation.
I remember Wells saying
to get it back ASAP.
Oh man! So next Monday it's back.
Next Monday, November the what is that? The 5th?
Sure.
Yeah, Horseplay will be back next Monday for sure, guaranteed, 100% back on Monday.
Episode number
47 or 48?
We might run off a week straight. I've got months and months of venting and Horowitz moments
to go in.
And swear words.
And
lots of swearing. If you guys dig swearing, hop on to Monday night, our episode.
Monday night
there might be just a whole segment of cussing and finding new words to come up with that we can swear about. But yeah, Horseplay will. Anything else you want to plug?
I feel like that's the only thing.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Horseplay's back next Monday. We're very excited about it. I told you guys it was coming back. People didn't believe me.
Difeo didn't believe you.
No, it's fine. You know.
Yeah.
It's always great when your co-host is like, "Nah, it's done."
Doubters.
and then I'm like
negative.
And then
motivation.
I sent the text, "You up?" And then they always reply.
You got the ...
like without me even hitting enter, it was ... Now, yeah, Horseplay is coming back, so we'll plug that. Horseplay_podcast on Instagram is like our only social media. There is a Twitter.
We have Twitter.
Yeah, Horseplay.
Really.
Horseplay podcast.
Twitter.
Trust me, we're gonna undertaker these things. They're gonna come out of the grave. They're gonna be back in this full swing of things. Yeah, November is kind of a dead month, but. No, we're gonna come up with some topics.
It's the return of Horseplay.
It is the return of Horseplay.
I think we should call
return of Potty Mouth.
Yeah, it won't even be called November anymore. It'll be called Horseplay.
Horseplay.
Member.
That's a hard miss. Let's end on that.
Nah.
We'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Nash, Wells and Smythe host a team podcast. We love sports just like you.